Right, so where we left off, after opening the gate into Sorconal and pulling the Anuadam thief Elida through, you had carefully avoided a trio of demons that were intent on trying to recapture her and take her back through. She managed to escape, but at the same time she kind of escaped all of you as well. Let me go ahead and jump us over there. Ben and Becky, did you guys get disconnected or drop or something?
I had to reload it.
Okay.
So, should be bringing us in a sec.
Okay. Are you running one instance of it or two? You should only need one. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you should only need one. If you tried to run a second one, it could be, that could cause problems, so. Oh, duh. Never mind. I was waiting for Becky to show back up in the list, but Ben is selected. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, that makes sense. Okay. Let me go ahead and move this over. Give it a second to load for everybody. Hopefully that volume level's a little.
I still see detect magic, not comprehend languages.
Well, both are in there, but comprehend languages. When I dropped it in, I didn't sort the list after, so let me find it here.
Okay.
Becky, do you remember what level it is normally?
Comprehend languages, I think, is second. Might be first.
Maybe. No, I don't see it either,
It was all
Fox.
first level spells, so it should be a first level spell.
Yeah, I don't see it either, Fox. I clicked and dragged it on there, but maybe it didn't take, so let me apply that here real quick.
Okay. Oh, good.
I'll make sure it shows up here. There we go. It's definitely there now. It's right at the top. I didn't sort it, but it is right at the top of your first levels, right below the preparable spells.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and mark that as always prepared. Audio levels okay?
Everything sounds good to me.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So I had mentioned this briefly to Ben and Fox and Becky a couple weeks ago. Because of the situation here, we're not going to roll back, retcon very much, but I'm going to describe it specifically for Pogo, who is most present at this moment. You guys, I had already moved you guys up, but I just jumped you guys back a little bit, the rest of the group there. We'll just, play it by ear, basically, from there. But Pogo, in the last moments, basically, of our last game there, you had casted Sleep with the attempt of trying to, knock her out, knowing that she was already injured and that she would be potentially more susceptible to it. The spell fires. You see the resource cost of it be expended, and she does not react to it, and she turns and is prepared to flee.
Oh,
This is
okay.
why. That right there is why. I had forgotten that elves have Fey ancestry, so they can't be put to sleep by magic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I had totally forgot about that. So at the end of the game, there, she would, the
So we don't ever tie it up. We don't ever tie it up or anything like that. Okay,
correct. Yeah,
okay.
she's about to flee. Just because I don't want to retcon it too much. I still you're still going to have a full opportunity to do something to capture, and everybody else is close by. So
I don't remember. Would we be in order? So I already burned my action.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to. I don't want to screw you guys for that because that was my mistake, not yours. So everybody else is a lot closer by than they actually would be, and you're still going to have your full opportunity to try to, capture her. Another means is all.
Just a quick confirmation: creatures in D&D is basically any
Yep. Anything
humans,
that's
right?
plants included. Anything that's alive. Anything that's animate, really.
All right. Well, I have. I have no second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, or seventh spell slots.
Wow. Okay.
So I will not be doing that.
I mean, she's close enough. You could probably just run in
I know.
grab her at her feet or something, but
It's not ideal. I mean, it's a possibility.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not like my ideal use of this here.
You don't want to be dragged through the jungle floor.
Yeah, give me just 1 second to look through my stuff since I
Sure.
got.
Yeah, take your time. Becky, I did put silvery barbs in there for you too. I had to manually create it, so I don't remember. I don't know if I'll have to. It won't handle automation basically, but we don't use a ton of automation, so it should be fine.
Thank you.
But it's in there for you, and I removed disguise self.
How hurt does she look? Not very.
In rough, no, in pretty
Oh.
rough shape. Yeah, she's got about a quarter of her hit points.
It looks like you're the one who has to set them to always prepared.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I see you prepared and unprepared. It won't let you change it to always prepared.
No.
I thought you had done it before.
It toggles between prepared and unprepared, and I can't toggle detect
okay.
magic to.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is my best bet. My level 1 Hasha's hideous laughter.
Okay.
And if it gives me 1 turn, then I can use that turn to bind her to the best of my ability.
Sure.
And
You have seen already she does have magic resistance.
18. Well, hold on. Would this be considered? Shit. Would this be considered charmed? Doesn't say. I don't think it is.
Let's see.
Doesn't say the word charmed.
Yeah, it doesn't. And yeah, exactly. Well, it would have to. I mean, if it
still
was
get, she'd still get advantage on it, I guess.
because of magic resistance, she'd still have advantage. Yeah, but DC 18. We'll see if she pulls that off here. 22. Never mind. She got a 12, so I didn't think she was going to make it.
She nailed it, and
Bonus action to move it. You do see Sarah is not far behind you and on the broom, so you know that Sarah will be able to take her.
My bonus, my bonus action is just Is she still running, or she like stopped facing me?
She stopped because you had done something. I don't remember what it was now off the top of my head. You hit her
I
with
don't remember.
sleep after.
I did kill her buddies. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put my hands up and tell her, listen, we just want the crown back. Have we determined yet? Damn it, now I'm forgetting. Have we determined yet if she has the crown? I feel like we didn't. I feel like she doesn't have the crown.
Yeah, you did.
It's through the portal.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put my hands up. I'd be like, we just want the crown back. Give it to us or tell us where it is.
She screams back, "I don't have it," and turns to run up the alleyway. It's not her turn yet, but she's starting to run up that way.
I'm just gonna scream like, she's going this way. I'm like, fucking else I can do, and then I'll take my turn to follow her.
Sure. Yeah, you still have movement, so all right. We'll jump to Sarah.
Okay. I'm assuming I heard that. Am I close enough to?
Yeah, you're right behind.
I yelled it real loud. I yelled it real loud.
Yeah. You can see her. You can see him. Basically, on the map, you see where you're at on the map there?
Oh, I thought they were invisible still.
Not anymore.
No.
Yeah, they
once
were.
you cast a spell or do anything, you become visible.
Yeah.
Oh, well, in that case, she is.
You're actually clearer than normal on the Xbox, Becky.
Nice.
Yeah, you actually sound great.
I also have nothing except for first level spells.
We don't have a rope strap. We
So-
can formulate some form of lasso.
I am going to throw out. Well, let me cast. Oh, Ben doesn't have stuff. I can't cast my stuff. I'm gonna cast Grease.
Okay. She is walking, so that's a feasible possibility.
But,
We're gonna home alone her ass.
Okay. Because I'm on Ben's.
But you click your own character sheet and won't let you click it from there?
Yeah, like I'm on my character sheet, and I can read the description, but I can't click the icons to.
Okay. I will hit it for you there. Measured template and consume first level slot. Well, you can't see where I'm trying to place it. It's a 10-foot square or 10-foot box. So, do you want it with her in the bottom left hex or the square of the box, or what do you want to do? So that basically there would be one above, one to the top right, and one directly to her right. Is that where you want it? That's the direction she was fleeing in. So, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So right there. That is an awful sound. I didn't mean to delete that, but that's fine. Yeah, so it's that whole square around her there. All right. She needs to take it immediately, right? Turn to difficult terrain. When the grease appears, each creature standing in its area must succeed on dex save or fall prone. All right, so she needs to do it now. Sorry, I replaced it and played the audio again. 15, she did not succeed, so she falls prone. So she will, assuming she continues there, will have half movement. She'll have to stand up, which will cost half movement. So, all right, movement or bonus actions?
Nope. Well, yeah, no movement, but I can't. It won't let me move my character.
Okay. How do we?
So just put me like 2 spaces behind Pogo.
Okay.
Technically, I would have been like right here.
Yeah,
Over
he did
the
move
river.
up. Okay, over the river then.
Yeah,
So
over
like
the
here,
river, so there's
like there. One to the left. Did you see you move?
Y'all, are we about to just all jump on her in a big thing of grease all over the ground and just wrestle?
Jungle mud wrestling. Still there, Becky? Ben?
Bueller?
Uh-oh.
Watch it, Ben. Okay, now I can hear you, G.
I was muted, but
Okay. All right. Did Becky get disconnected or something?
we're checking.
Okay.
Just
If that's where she wants to
here.
be, I can move her after if we need to. So
Yeah, I think she said that's fine.
okay. All right, Fox.
Okay, I'm going to use the Thorn Whip
Okay.
and
Go ahead and click it in. It should give you the
Try
measure
to-
template for it. You're gonna drop it.
I'm thinking either the Thorn Whip or if Sarah allows, I could grab the whatchamacallem from her, the shackles, and then put them on.
Yeah, she has them now, so you'd have to
Still
catch
have
up to
them.
her. Yeah, and she's over the river and
On
quite
the
a
room with
quite a
her
ways over.
though.
Oh, okay. I forgot that. Sorry. There you go. I forgot you were still on the broom together. Here you go. Yes. So in that case, assuming that Sarah doesn't, I doubt she's gonna try to hold on to them. I'm sure she'd let you take them. So, you could hop off into the water, I guess, or have hopped off while she was flying that direction, if you wanted.
Yeah.
Yep, there we go. You're back, Becky.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna grab the shackles if she doesn't mind, and then
Becky, you would let her take the shackles.
While she's prone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then in that case, Arteme, you would have been able to, while she was still flying, I'm going to, just for the sake of brevity here, as she's already prone, it's going to be a very low check. So go ahead and make a probably sleight of hand. If you've got an argument for a better one, go right ahead. Otherwise, we'll make a sleight of hand check. DC
No,
5.
I was practicing sleight of hand for stuff like this anyway.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep. Yep, that'll do. All right. So
There we go.
as the grease appears beneath her feet, she tries to spin in place and plummets kind of forward onto her face. Both feet kind of sticking outwards towards Pogo. You hop off of the broom, grabbing the shackles as Sarah flies over, and rush over and snap them around her ankles. She is now restrained. She
Wrist.
flips over in place. You what?
Put them on her wrists, not ankles.
Oh, sure, that's fine. Would be potentially a little bit harder, but that's fine. They were manacles, by the way, so, I mean, they still would fit around wrists, but probably a little easier to slip out of, potentially, but doesn't matter. Not a big deal.
Oh, because we had put them on our wrists earlier, because I thought they were wrists, not...
I narratively was assuming ankles, because they're intended, like, manacles are intended for being around the ankles, but it doesn't matter. Functionally, it's not going to make a big difference because of the metal they're made of anyway, so it doesn't... I guess the physical contact point is less relevant, except for the ability potentially to have slipped out of them. But anyway,
Because I thought the person we took them off, it was their hand, like their wrists, not their feet.
I think they had both from
took them
the
off
Juthrans.
You guys took
Oh,
them off
Becky.
of me. And they were on my ankle.
Right.
Yeah, they were manacles, so...
Oh.
Yeah. So
I see.
that's only like a year and a half ago. Whatever that was.
Okay, so
Oh.
they're half-link sized, so I think they would fit well
That's true.
on, like, an elf's wrist.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Either way, so you got them snapped on her. She is restrained. She flips over in place and immediately gives you both the finger. Why are you stopping me? What do you want?
We're gonna just want to find out who you are and what the fuck happened with that crown. We just need some information. We don't have any desire to kill you. I'm sorry about.
You don't
what
have a
happened to
desire.
your
You
friend.
killed my entire squad. You crashed my ship.
Yeah.
One of them was my cousin.
Well, I'm really sorry about that, but you know what? Stealing is not a great thing to do, especially at ruins. It's just we probably should have all paused and maybe should have given it back earlier. I think if I remember correctly too, by the way, I'm pretty sure I like yelled at them to just stop and give it back and like let's all fucking calm down. But they didn't.
You made the attempt before you
I think I
crashed the
did.
ship, before you
So-
went to the ship. Yeah.
I really am sorry about that, but we need some information from you about what happened to the Sage Chorus. Also, probably why you were hanging out with some demons from another plane when we pulled you back here that then seemed dead set on eating your face. Oh, you're welcome, by the way, for not letting them eat your face.
She sits up and spits at you. What are Nazim and Norok doing? You guys are still back, but you would have the opportunity to kind of catch up if you choose.
Seeing that she kind of spit at him.
Can I try to catch the spit in my mouth? That's called a power move.
So as I move up close by, I just pull out my leather extracting knife and just stare at her.
You could kill me if you want. I'm not going to tell you a damn thing after what you did. Norok, how about you?
Well, I don't want to kill her, guys. She's a thief, but just 'cause
she
she's a
looks
thief
looking over your
doesn't
shoulder
deserve
at
to die.
looking back at
Hurt these
Nazim
women.
flying in, though,
It's
holding.
just mainly because of the implication. I just want the leather.
It's just the
I mean, we could take her on our ship, because of the implication.
yeah. What you doing, Holmes?
I say we just drop her off with the elves and let them deal with her.
I think that's a fine enough thought. We should,
Don't. They'll just execute me if you take me back there. Just fucking let me go. What you did was enough. Just let me go.
No, it's not, because now I still need to account for the crown which you stole, and now I need to go get to a different dimension. So
I
no,
didn't steal it.
nothing to
It
do with the
wasn't
elves.
yours. It wasn't
Yes,
yours to
you
begin
did
with.
Steal it. It was
didn't
yours
own it.
to
The thing we
own,
rightfully
and you
took.
stole-
There you go. Justin's got the right of it there. We
Well,
stole
yeah,
it first.
She stole
and
something
therefore,
I had on loan.
Didn't you think she was working with the elf government to get this back to where it's supposed to be? Where were you? What were your plans with it? Why don't you lay a case out as to why we should listen to you and do anything? What was you taking the Sage's chorus? What were you planning on doing with it? I'm talking to the elf girl.
Elida, make a persuasion check. Remember, you killed her squad, including her, kin of hers, her cousin.
Yeah, but that was like 12 minutes ago.
Exactly, right? With a fucking natural 20, come on. Fucking 35. A 35. How's she supposed to argue with a 35? All right.
But my best bet to get
You
out of
said
this is
McFly
still
would be very
dumping her
attractive.
with the elves.
She wants to marry me now.
She definitely, Arteme seemed very concerned that that's what you guys would do is turn her over because she expects they would execute her. Was what she told you anyways. She says, I was just following orders. It wasn't yours in the first place. I was told to recover it, and that's what I did.
Yeah, but like,
Told by
who
who?
do you work for though? We just listen. You gotta understand. We're not going to try to hurt people, but if people ask us, we're going to have some answers, or we're going to be in a similar state as you. Like we just need to figure out all the details of what the hell just happened.
When you ask who she works for, her mouth tightens. It's very clear that that's not information she would give up, even under threat of death. But she does say, as far as who the orders came from, I don't know. That's not how we work. We work in isolated groups and compartmentalized groups specifically so that people like you can't get information out of us.
Okay, so dump her with the elves, let them deal with it, and let's be done with it.
All right, let's make sure
she's not working with the elves. The Monodoran
I'm gonna
messenger indicated that the Monodoran elves wanted the Sage course back a bit early, hence the delivery, but that was a ruse and a theft. We dump her with the elves and let them deal with it.
I say we bring her to the elves.
Pogo and Nazim, both of you make perception checks, please.
I was also going to say I'm going to start, kind of patting her down and going through her pockets and clearing out anything that she has. Any items that she has, I'm taking off of her just so she can't use them to help try to escape.
Oh, okay. I thought you just meant for blatant theft. Like
No,
this is a robbery.
I mean, I'm going to throw them all on the ground.
Not
but
gonna need that wallet next week.
yeah, she's not going to need a wallet, and she's not going to.
Well, you do know that she has a very interesting ring that she used on you guys at the top of the.
I'm taking all of it. Anything that could be magical. Anything. She's getting prison tripped down right now.
She is yanking her hands away from you and trying to maneuver herself to keep.
I'm gonna bite your finger.
She is in grease, so it is very difficult for her to.
I'm going to wrestle around this woman biting her finger in grease.
All right,
both gesture towards Pogo with the knife. Go ahead and take the finger.
Jesus.
I'm just going to smack both of them at this point.
Well, that's some decent acrobatics. Pogo's got a lot of experience in mud wrestling, apparently.
Yeah, I've mud wrestled women before. I've stolen rings and I've mud wrestled women, so I'm sure I'd be all right.
Mixing the two ain't going to be that much more difficult.
I'm going to hurt these girls, right, Pogo?
It's the implication.
This is the implication.
Flopping around.
Excuse me. Both Nazim and Pogo. She first squints at Pogo as you're lunging towards her, and then she starts squinting at Nazim in the background as she's trying to kind of spin herself through the grease to keep away from Pogo. She stops and says, "Just before I opened the portal, I was ordered to leave a gift for you, and you took it, didn't you? I didn't see it when I came back through after you pulled me back."
You mean the letter, the note you left?
The piece of metal?
Yeah, who's got the metal? Is it?
What?
No, the piece of metal that was in the book. I just can't remember fucking what we did with it. Someone's got it.
She stops for a moment, and she stops trying to resist. She closes her fist to try to keep Pogo from pulling the ring off of her finger. She stops and just kind of scowls. She looks furious. Like, she was already mad, obviously, but now she's extra mad. She says, "You, of all people, who killed my brethren, my kin, and after all I went through to get that gift in the first place, and then I learned that we may have been allies in the first place had you just not attacked us."
Norak, can you just knock her unconscious for just 5 minutes?
She's still shouting, like looking over at the the giant
Yogg. Can you knock her unconscious? just give her a little tap on the back of the fucking head.
Is Pogo trying to prevent what she's about to say being spoken aloud, or just doesn't want to hear it?
No, Pogo doesn't trust her, and Pogo feels like she might be buying time, and Pogo wants to can listen to her later. There's time to listen to her later. We're not going to kill her. We're going to knock her unconscious, which I know is probably terrible for her. Like, concussions
very
are
risky.
big deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I get it. Like, she might forget how to do math. But
she might forget, basic math,
of
basic
meat to
addition.
move around now.
She's
well,
not
we
that
can
heavy,
wake
but
her back up, like, literally immediately after she's definitely not a threat. But she's still a threat right now, in my opinion.
I would say just leave her unconscious, grab the stuff from her, put it in a bag, we dump her with the elves, and...
Sure. Well, we still have to go retrieve the bodies from the thing. Like, just
listen.
Keep
You
her
don't
unconscious.
you don't need to hit me. Just leave me be. I followed the instructions I was given. I placed the artifact as I was bid to, and then I left. I did not expect my travel to draw the attention of such a remote place in the shadows there, but his demons caught the scent of me, and a cruel twist of fate that you should be my unknowing rescuers, but just leave me be. I hope the pain
I still need to account for the Wood Sage's chorus, which I can't without giving you to the elves. I was on loan, not stolen. You did.
She kind of puts her hands up, both of them still shackled together in a kind of a shrugging motion.
Here's the thing, I'd knock her out, guys, but I'd have to hit her like 5 times. It would be like a comical amount of hitting in the back of the fucking head.
Just go to sleep. Take everything from her and leave her be.
I think we should talk about it after she's not conscious enough to know what we're talking about.
I'm going to tell you, because I want to kind of keep things moving here, we're going to do the time skip here. So if you want to do anything with her, it may be the last time you see her unless you guys go back to Merethalis or something to try to find her later. So if you want information from her, now would be a good time, and then we'll do a time skip. If you guys want to set her off to Merethalis, that's totally fine. I just mean that kind of extracting information from her at a later time would be potentially difficult. So if you have questions,
it doesn't sound like
If you guys
she's
want to
giving
try
us
and get
any
more
other
information, like she's not going to give us more information.
Yeah, if I
you
roll
don't-
35, if she's not giving me
talk
more
about
information.
the Yellow King, or extract any information about that. Maybe she might know something about this.
Does anyone remember what the piece of metal specifically was? It was a piece of
of the yellow sign, yeah,
a piece of the yellow sign.
that you were
But,
told
like-
to recover, and that was one of 3.
Yeah, so I'm thinking she has something to do with I guess they call it the Yellow King, I guess is the
Yeah.
common name of some sorts. Maybe we interrogate her about that first, if she knows anything about that.
It's gonna have fun doing that. I'm gonna go and try and excavate the bodies from the ruins.
This is all half an hour after that all happened. So Norok already pulled all the bodies out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go prepare the bodies to bring them back to like the island.
Okay. Sarah, because you would need the broom to do that unless you're going to do some rock climbing, which will take a while. So Sarah, are you giving her
Yeah,
the broom, or are you going with her?
I'll let her take the broom. I'll stay down here. Sorry, I was trying to figure out what she was saying. Did she say something about his demons took her?
She did, indeed.
Okay. And did she mention whether she gave the Wood Sage's course to who it was supposed to go to? Did she not
What she
mention
said, so I was kind of shouting that in a bit. So what she said, just to give you the text essentially of it, she said, I followed the instructions I was given, I placed the artifacts as I was bid to, and then I left. I did not expect my planar travel to draw the attention of such a remote place in the realm of shadows, but Tutheronth's demons, which is, is an elven name for Shadow Throne, you would recognize that as just another of his, dozen names. And then Cruel Twist of Fate, that you should be my unknowing rescuers.
So Tutheronth's or
Yeah,
Tutheronth's demons have the crown?
So that's not what she said. What she said was that she went to a refuge, which you guys know is in a place called Hood's Path because Sarah recognized it. Why is that copy not working correctly? It's trying to copy an image when it's just a word, so... Excuse me. I'll put it in Discord then, since for whatever reason Foundry Paste is like showing me a spinning wheel like here we go. Yeah, I'll paste this in Discord instead. God damn it, why does... Okay, fucking OneNote insists that everything you try to paste out of it is an image, even if it's just text. So irritating. Stupid Microsoft. So I literally have to paste it into a text editor first.
So she went to some place called Hood's Path first and then went to the demon realm?
No. So Hood's Path is in Sorconal. It's in the Sorconal realm, Rill, rather, which is the Shadow Realm. She just called it the Shadow Realm because, different cultures call it different things, but it is just Sorconal. That's where Sarah's magic comes from. She went there, and when she was there, Shadow Throne's demons were able to find her. And while she was going there on purpose because there's a refuge there, and her orders were to leave the Wood Sage's chorus there. That's what she did. As she was leaving is when they found her. So the demons didn't touch it or take it as far as she described. They had nothing to do with it. They were just after her. She doesn't know if they did anything to the Wood Sage's chorus. It didn't seem to be their intent.
I'm gonna look at her. Why did his demons want you?
She scowls a little bit because you're still glowing in the color you are.
I will drop it.
That's doesn't seem like that's going to matter. You've already. Yeah. I just deleted you off the map. Whoops. Whatever this add-on is that has this thing loading, I messed it up. So let me add you back here real quick. Sorry. You can drop it, but yeah, it's already it's already pretty clear who you. You'll go ahead and drop it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't need to try to... Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just gonna kind of hold out my hand and be like, I didn't exactly ask for this. Just kind of happened.
We play the
What does
hand
he
we're
want
dealt.
me-
She won't answer. It's pretty clear, like I said, specifically that she won't tell you who her commander is in the Inuit. There are answers she's not going to give you. Doesn't matter even if you threaten death. Especially after having killed her whole squad. And blew her ship up. So you're going to let me go? I told you everything that was relevant to you. If you want to go after it, have at it. It's no longer my business.
I'm leaving that up to Arteme. You stole the Wood City scores from her.
Yeah, my plan's still just dump her with the elves because now I need to give it back in like a week, and I don't know if I'll have it in a week.
I still need to take all her shit for safety purposes. Just let everyone know this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. I'm gonna get your stuff with you conscious or unconscious.
She
What do you
seeing
want? Which way you want to play this?
seeing the
Which
Yogg.
way do you want to play this?
You forget your accent every few
I
weeks.
did. I forgot who I was. What I was speaking of for that point.
It always floats a little bit, anyways. It's fine.
Yeah, that's true. You know what
Seeing-
it is? It's because I don't want to say stuff out like when it's not supposed to be in character, and then it could, like you'd be
Yeah.
like, okay, well when you do that, I'm like, no.
Sure, that's fair.
But yeah, like I'm preparing the bodies that my position on just bring her to the elves is clear.
Okay.
It's either that or give her to the demons, but I'd rather just cover the, hey, I don't have the course anymore because of this chick.
Okay. Looking over though and seeing Nazim kind of spinning this knife on his fingers and the Yogg right behind him, behind Nazim rather. She says, "Fine, you take my things and I go. Is that the deal? If you want them that bad, so be it. But I need to get out of here. They may come back."
I don't think that it's the listen. Just put yourself in my shoes. We're just taking your things so that you don't try to escape on our ship or in our camp or try to murder us when we're sleeping. This is a precaution, and then we're going to go drop you off back at with some other elves. We just have to do that. We have to. Someone has to be a responsible person for what just happened, and to be honest, it's not going to be us.
Make a perception check. Okay. As she was spinning around in the grease to get away from you, you didn't notice this. Really, the group really kind of couldn't have. I would just say, I mean, nobody was specifically looking for anything in particular. Artemis moved you a little bit away. Obviously, you're actually, up above. But anyway, she was seemingly making a concerted effort to slip the grease underneath the manacles and slip them off of her wrists. So she has managed to pull those off and immediately disappears teleports away and disappears.
Right.
Cool.
So specifically, she was actually going to, yeah, really, she was going to just give you the things, but if you kept insisting on returning her to the elves, they would execute her. So of course she was going.
Yeah, I'm not going to have that argument with Artemis. That's a whole session.
Well, that was. I'll just tell you that was the motivation. It doesn't necessarily matter in the moment, of course, but you did get probably at least a decent chunk of the information that you could have gotten out of her. Anything else that needs to be taken care of here? Because, like I said, what we're going to do is all the things that you guys had mentioned that you wanted to do with the time. We're going to go over those. There's some kind of some things that happened basically during that couple of weeks, and then we'll be jumping to the 8th of Fogloom. So, anything else to do here before we move on? No?
Not that I can think of.
Here specifically, not really, but technically getting the Wood Sage's course, like I don't know how that works with the time skip.
I mean, you don't know where it is. It would you know a general area of where she left it, but you don't expect it would have stayed. Even if you were to, easily to be able to travel to that place, you don't feel like that would be a safe trip without knowing where you're going. So, I mean, that's the kind of thing that you potentially could do. I would say that it isn't likely to have happened within that 2 weeks at all. But certainly not with the other stuff going on.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we would need to kind of retcon a bunch more, and like I said, I'm trying to nudge things along a little bit, you know. I don't want to rewind too much there. So it's not that it's out of, completely out the realm of possibility. We'll just say that it isn't within the realm of possibility for the next 2 weeks. Then if you guys choose to go after the fact, you do have some leads, and that you have the general area of where she left it, and that what you saw through the portal, although that wasn't, the precise location, but somewhere within the region, let's say. And know that it's a refuge of some sort, and that she had left it. So from there, then we're going to jump a little bit. I should have made a. I'm going to use the Crow Fort. That isn't the correct place because your guys aren't actually there, but you would still be at the jungle. So I'm just going to use the Crow Fort map. If I can find it, where's the VA one? There it is. Let me load that.
Did you guys knock her out anyway? Like. I'm confused now because
I asked Norok to, but then she started running her damn mouth and
exactly what Pogo did not want.
Yeah, that's literally exactly what I didn't want. I was like, I think she's wasting fucking time.
Well, she was slipping grease under her manacles.
Shut up, bird.
Well, you know what? We all learned a valuable lesson. Knock him out.
Grease is slippery,
and then knock him out. And then we can deal with it later. If we don't know what to do right now, we can always knock him unconscious.
Yeah, because I left because I thought you guys had already knocked her out.
Yeah, I mean, really, Artemis.
Okay, now I'm just frustrated.
That was a terrible decision to leave.
To go prepare the bodies of deceased people.
Well, I mean, Norok already did, but...
You keep talking like that, Pogo's going to change his level up and not take that spell.
Well, we'll get to that in a bit here. We'll get to that in a bit here, Pogo.
Because he feels bad, and then all the power now and stuff is now created a guilt spell that he's now taking.
He's got a 7th level guilt spell.
He's got a 7th level guilt spell, yeah.
That's good. All right, so in this 2 week span, like I said, we're going to go over some of the things here. Let me put it this way. Just let me preface this by saying I know I didn't get everything on here, so if there are other things that you had said, especially in game, that I didn't remember, just remind me, and we'll cover those things. Lost Becky again. Okay, all right, she's back. Becky, you back?
Yeah, every time the Xbox controller turns off, I have to get out of Discord so it'll let me use the mic again.
Okay. I guess press a button every few minutes or something. Keep it awake. Yep. Hopefully the batteries don't die.
I a rubber band around one of the joysticks, so it's constantly in a turning motion. So you're always giving input.
Yeah. As soon as that's ready, obviously, I just got to install Windows on it and I'll ship it up to you. And it should be a little better anyways, because it'll be a nice strong PC too. So, anyways, we will start with Nazim here. But like I said, I put these in kind of a loose chronological order. Well, basically the last bits of it would be happening near the end of the 2 weeks. So if we're kind of at a point you think where whatever your interjection might be is, just let me know if there's something I forgot or something you hadn't mentioned previously that you want to having been done during that time. We'll start with Nazim though. In the days since that comatose lithid was violently exiled from your brain, you've begun to feel some of your kind of old self returning, like your pre-pause Ceramorphosis self, in kind of an alien presence somehow, just like flashes of memories that you don't really feel like are even yours anymore from the before you were tadpoled in the first place. The constant draw you felt to locate those certain devices, it's like that's beginning to ebb away. You don't feel responsible for all those atrocities anymore. That was, like an entirely different person, a different, personality, different control over your body that did those things. But you are, at this point, beginning to get a little paranoid that the powers that your patron has invested in you will begin to slip away as well, that you'll, kind of lose the stuff you gained in that time. So you've just been spending some of that time kind of testing your capabilities in small ways, but thus far at least you haven't seemed to lose anything, with the exception of being able to read Qualith. So the text in your tome, you keep occasionally opening it like you'd mentioned there to kind of research and read what you might be able to ascertain from it, but the headaches that it's giving you are becoming more and more devastating. At this point it takes you about 10 minutes to recover. from trying to read a page. So you can still get a little bit of it, but it just takes you a lot more effort, and the negative impact of it is becoming more significant. Any other specific things? I know you'd mentioned the tome there, so any other specific things that you wanted to be doing with Nazim? There'll still be time later, but at least at this point.
Mainly that was my main concern, but I guess I would also kind of, in the back of my mind, think about things to increase my armor class. So I'm going to start thinking about my gear, start thinking about maybe next time we're in the area, looking into improving that. Because Nazim, since he's lost this little brain friend, he's had quite a few close calls these last few fights, and he's getting kind of concerned about his personal health, I guess you'd say, hit points.
All right. Then because of some things that I think Sarah as well, but at least some stuff that Pogo had intended to do, you guys will be doing a little bit of traveling during this time as well. So, something like stopping by, a smith of some sort or shops and things like that. That's certainly within the realm of possibility. So we can address that, at least for mundane things, and then magical things. We'll do some rolls and see if there's something that suits what you're looking for. Now for Pogo, this one is a little bit more complicated. I think I'll probably be pulling Pogo to a separate channel here in a minute to go over a couple of things there. But first, before we do, the list that you had sent Pogo, the kind of the highest priority things were specifically that you had beseeched for the ability to bring the dead back to life, right?
Yeah.
And your goal was to fly around a bit using different shops, trying to avoid a scrupulous eye, and make sure that you are able to buy crushed diamonds, right?
A couple thousand GP worth if possible. And yeah, we're just doing now that we've got this cool spaceship, we're doing a bit of a laundrying scheme here. We're getting rid of some of this dirty gold and trading it in for some nice,
not laundry. Let me just
clean
clarify
ice,
there.
baby.
It's not laundry, it's laundering.
Yeah, we're getting rid of this. Yeah, I'm from the streets.
You call it
doing our dirty laundry.
All right. All right. So
I walk into any shop in any town and go, I got some dirty laundry. I'm going to take care of it. And I slap a gold bar down. They're like, yeah. And they give me some coins.
You guys
do take a 12% cut.
Yeah, you got to get into a fence at least. You guys do have a good chunk of things you could sell. I guess let's get through that real quick to mark off enough stuff to have accommodated however much diamond you wanted to buy. So
don't we have like $20,000 worth or gold worth of bars from whatchamacallit?
Do you?
Didn't we have a shitload of gold from that was if we went to the southern continent?
Tons of gold.
If we went to the southern continent, we got it from that one guy that we thought we killed but didn't.
Yeah, Dominic. Yeah, the Lich.
Yeah.
You do. Those you were trying to offload them anyway, specifically with the fear that they would be traced back to you when the Lich is recovered enough. Who do you remember? Somebody have them in bag? Are they in the bag of holding, Fox? Do you know?
It should be in the bag of holding.
What was that, Sako?
Oh yeah, I think they were put there.
And then we also have a sarcophagus lid that's made of gold that is our coffee table right now.
Yeah, that you store on the ship and then just smash it on the
Not
floor.
a good coffee table, but it's a great conversation piece.
Yeah. Let's see. Ominix tomb, 500 gold each. Didn't mark how many are there, but I think I have it in my notes. That's fine. There's way more than enough that you could sell. And how many thousands were you looking for in diamond?
Let's just do 4. For right now. Well, here's the thing. As a DM, how in the time allotted for me trying to do this, what do you think I'd be able to get? Because it's not infinite, obviously, because I'm not,
You can fly far enough south into Vabby to find a decent, seller that will not, basically raise eyebrows about it.
Right.
Say you could probably sell enough, 10 of them, get 5,000 gold worth.
All right, so let's say 5,000 GP worth of diamonds is what I have. Is it one diamond worth 1,000 or is it?
Yeah, it's one for each one, so you'd have enough for 5 total.
Yeah, so I have enough for 5, and then I will, if we have 4, are there? Because it's going to take me. I can only do one a day, also. So
Mhm.
I'm definitely bringing back Artemis' aunt.
Okay.
And did we recover any of the other bodies from there?
Yeah,
Because
we
one of the
recovered all of
first
them.
thing I was going to do. So I would ask Artemis I'd bring 2 other people back, so 3
Well,
people
so
total.
we need to handle something there real quick.
Yeah.
So in case it might change your plans after the fact, let's go ahead and go through that real quick.
I can't remember if there were other important people.
I mean, important to Leary and the other dig crew, but not anybody else that you guys like knew or had any dealings with of any
And
sort.
is there anyone dead at the Crow Fort that we need to bring back that anyone can think of?
There are some. They've been quite a while, but they're.
I think
bodies
I
aren't
think
still
we're up
there.
to a year though. This shit fucking. This is
Oh no, it's not. It's not a matter of time. It's a matter that the bodies aren't still there. Like it's been time since they died. Since they've been.
So they might be
basically.
buried and stuff, and
Or just not in the Crow Fort. You wouldn't leave them. Well, they wouldn't leave them there when they have a means of transporting them back to families and things like that. So.
trying to think. Anyone has anyone lost anyone close?
No.
I mean, good for us for not having that many dead friends, guys. Kind of impressive.
You guys have tried a little bit, not always all that successfully, but tried to keep your important family members safe and protected. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. You know what? Okay, we'll start this, and then Justin, there will be a part that I'm gonna pull you into separate chat for. So I'm just gonna move everybody over for the sake of uniformity, I guess, so everybody's got at least some of the basic information here, and then if Justin chooses to share information after that, he can. So move everybody over real quick. You know what, we'll say that it actually is at the Crow Fort, probably, because that would be the easiest place. That's where you had done the resurrection for Pogo, in fact, to bring him back. So, back at the Crow Fort, you have laid Leary out in the kind of old war room, basically, a kind of a large, almost chapel. Laid her out and begun the process of trying to bring her back with Artemis and the rest of the group there. As everyone else is gathered around and watching this, the beginnings of this ritual, this is Pogo's first attempt at doing so, and so you kind of expect a certain, I wouldn't say awkwardness, but a certain newness, a little unfamiliarity. But considering the kind of performance, a built-in stage show that Pogo is, it is a little bit strange to the rest of you when he freezes.
Yeah, you're all wearing robes, and there's a lot of smoke in the air. And we all have to drink wine, and I'm making up a bunch of words that we're all chanting together. It's a whole show.
Yeah, gotta turn the entire thing into it.
There's a drum. Yeah, no, that's good.
All right. So the rest of you watching,
It takes an hour or two to do it, and they don't come back fully strong. Like it takes like 5 days for them to actually fully recover.
So in the middle of this, Pogo's still kind of turning this into a little bit of a performance. Seems pretty confident, actually, that everything's going to work just fine, and then he freezes still, just frozen in mid-word, mouth kind of half ajar, and just is frozen still. The rest of you that had seen earlier when both Nazim and Pogo had frozen, it looks just like that, and similarly, I'm going to go ahead and move us over. Give it a second for. Oh yeah, looks like it's not going to load for everybody, so we'll give it a second. And that is too loud, so let me turn that down. Oh, that's not the right place.
In the beginning of time!
Yeah, that one's too loud, too. Oh, shit, my headset's too loud. That's why. Okay. So that might be... Yeah, I might have messed up a bit for everybody. Hopefully that's not too loud. I'll turn that down there, too. All right. Everybody's pulled over. Okay. Pogo, your awareness obviously changes. You saw this, once. Well, actually, for you, it's been kind of twice previous, in that the surroundings were very similar the first time when you were brought back yourself. In fact, in this very room, 3 feet from where you're standing right now. But there is another presence this time, one that you had spoken to before as well. Not just the large kind of enthroned figure in the background who pays you no mind, is just kind of floating, ephemerally there in the distance. But instead, there is also a very towering, somewhat lizard-like, a face of a monitor lizard, quadrupedal with a torso, centaur-like. Basically, this is a tegu ra. It is You guess based on the presence, although you can't really see much, and you don't really have, you're disembodied here. Like there's no, you don't look down, you don't see a body. There's no hands or anything like that. You're just a floating sentience. But this kind of other presence is on eye level, essentially, with you, far below, much smaller than the towering creature in the distance. But is the presumably the one who you had spoken with initially when you had been returned. Is kind of standing there and actually does turn in your direction and address you. He just kind of stares at you for a minute, and then he says, "Your plan to claw back the soul of that elf Lyrillith has drawn the ire of the King in Yellow. His gaze is a disquieting place. Do not relish it, and seek rapidly to extricate yourself from its tumorous attention. This unceasing flood of abominations will no longer be tolerated. He has allowed your dental transference of life, with a singular caveat, painful and troublesome though it may be. He has seen fit to provide you with a luxury not often enjoyed by those servile to gods. You may choose." And then he stops. Well, so he pauses there for a moment. You don't know what the choice is, and this is where I'm going to pull Justin away. So everybody else, you guys aren't actually seeing any of this, of course. You're just standing in the chamber and seeing a kind of frozen Pogo. It's been 15 seconds at this point, and it's starting to get awkward because you're not sure if this is just part of the, part of his stage show, if he just had a weird pause in the middle of it or something. Justin, I'll put you over
it does seem very Pogo.
It would be, but this is like the 15 seconds is fine. After that, it starts to be like, is this on? Like everybody's starting to look at each other like, is this part of the show?
Is half his face kind of getting droopy?
Yeah, he's getting Bell's palsy. Yeah, for sure. Let me bring it. There you go. The Mitch McConnell freezing. That's perfect. All right, we'll be right back, guys.
All right. Can you hear me?
There we go. All right, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so you're in that floating space, and the you don't know. I did have the name on the screen there. I just realized because of the stupid stage thing, but you don't know his name. You know that he's some sort of lieutenant.
Right,
cool. You've never
I
met
known him as a yellow lizardface guy.
Yeah, you know that he's a lieutenant of some sort. Basically, you know that the King in Yellow has never spoken or anything other than giving you kind of mean looks and kind of sent thoughts into your head type of thing. But this guy is able to
This was the guy that I originally saw probably too when I originally got brought back, and I wasn't sure if it was real or dream.
Definitely.
Or what.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's him. Yep. Right, so, well, what he says, the choice.
Yeah.
He says you may choose. He says this woman's soul. And then he lifts one hand up, and he kind of, is floating in space. And you see this kind of almost a small portal, like a little glowing portal orb thing, with light in it. And in this little floating thing, you see a brief flash of what you expect to be a possible future of one of these choices, in which you see Artemis Aunt Lyria's return to life, breathing, smiling, everything, coming back like, what you would expect there. But in the vision, you see a small clenched fist in your own hand is approaching the side of Lyrillith's head. The hand is jittering as if trying to hold on to something. And then you watch your little envisioned hand open up beside her ear, and a little slimy, purposeless slug slithers out of your hand over to the side of her head and begins to force its way in through her ear. In the vision here, you see time passing, and then you recognize the stages that you saw in Oloman, if you remember the different elven woman Oloman, only a few months previous.
Mm-hmm.
The same stages that you'd seen or that you'd read about in that journal from that Problinder Squad Mage bottle
Yeah.
on the ship. It's obviously Ceramorphosis. But this is basically an option that you can bring her back, but you personally, like, you'll have to do this. You'll have to tadpole her. And then he kind of stops for a moment, and the image kind of dims and disappears, and he says, "Or that of your lapsed companion." And he kind of flares back open a light again. This time it's a similar vision, this time of a sleeping Nazim. You've snuck into like a darkened sleeping chamber, probably aboard the Sevastopol, and quietly place another Elithid tadpole on the kind of chitinous pillow beside him, and you watch it crawl in through his ear. The ear's still not fully healed from the one that crawled out a few days ago. But a flash of time passes, and you see Nazim, who is already obviously strange, but you begin to notice signs of Ceramorphosis that are no longer stagnated. He won't be immune to the inevitable transition anymore. And and then the image begins to fade, and he says, "That's the choice that's been given to you. You will tell no one of this before or after." And then he says, "Decide and execute the task before dawn."
Or what will happen?
He doesn't answer. No response.
Can I ask why?
As you say, "Can I ask?" he just disperses into nothing and he's gone.
Am I still in this weird realm though?
No, you're slowly. It's beginning to fade away, and we'll jump back over. Oh shit! Hold on, I gotta get the stupid map up again.
Can I, before we jump back, or actually,
Asking
can
the DM?
can I
Yeah.
roll an insight check to
Sure.
see how dire and like what kind of seriousness this thing
Like
is?
what you think he would be inferring to of what the result would
like
be?
what is, or I can roll like, I don't know if I've learned enough to roll like religion to check what I think might happen, but yeah, let me
I mean, I'll allow it, but the DC would be different because it would be a different kind of inference there.
yeah, let me see if insight would give me any.
20.
Yeah. Like, is there any wavering in this position from what I could tell? Like, is it a hard line?
You do feel like there would be pretty significant consequences. I'll tell you that from a DM perspective, there won't. It's not going to take power away from your character type of thing. Worst case, if it was a direct disobeying, which this would be like this. This was you were returned to life and told you would be given a task, and this is what he's asking you to do. You don't necessarily know why, but as far as a power level,
I'm just trying to think. I don't know. I'm gonna get a fucking thing. There's a lot of logistical problems with this.
You know what? I didn't specify this, but it's pretty clear that the tadpole is going to be provided to you. You don't have to you don't have to go find one on the black market or something. Like you're gonna,
well, guys, come on.
But you won't be able to tell anybody is the thing. So
can't tell anybody.
you'd be tadpoling Artemis' aunt without her knowing or anything, and then that would just have to happen, or re-tadpoling Nazim without him knowing. All right, ready to jump back?
Cool. Yeah.
All right, going back. And I'll jump everybody back to the chat here. Okay. Everybody here?
That was really good. A lot of really good stuff from that. So pretty excited, everybody.
All right, so that is what happens. Pogo, you are still on the table there. Above the table rather. The ritual. Well, you can take it from there if you want to continue it.
I'm gonna continue the ritual, and we will bring the your aunt back to life, Arteme. And the final part of the ritual is I give her a little kiss on the forehead.
All right.
And I'm like 80% sure she's gonna be able to use her legs too.
Yeah, that was. I mean,
actually, this might have fixed them originally, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, it just so happened that they were already healed before, so works out.
Yeah.
She does begin to sit up, very groggy, and like immediately falls right back down again, like clearly still very weak, but alive and breathing. You see her chest rising and falling. She's definitely there. She kind of looks in the direction, and it's clear she can't see, like it's still very blurry. But she mumbles, "Arteme, are you that blurry shape right there?"
I'll go over to her.
You've been sleeping for 17 years.
Well, she's an elf. That's not that bad. That's an afternoon nap, right? Yeah, so the ritual worked. She has returned. It is successful. You guys still have 4 diamonds worth of material. Hey, nobody knows that movie but me. Good pull there, Sako. Not nobody, obviously, but that's an awfully obscure movie. Anybody recognize that? Out of curiosity.
Don't.
So that is a very interesting movie, mostly because of the the actual historical event that occurred.
Pills.
Yeah, L-Dopa. So there's a very specific and very rare version of what is it? It's a seizure disorder, and when you have essentially these, it's a specific kind though. It's damn it, it has a name like a proper noun name. But anyway, it's a specific kind of a seizure disorder that if you have the advanced
encephalitis lethargica.
There you go. Yeah. It's also, it's got like a, it's not Legionnaires, but it's got like a name like that also. Anyway, if you have the, the super rare version of this, your seizures, which normally would be a very rapid, uncontrolled movement, right, go to the point of becoming entirely frozen. So you're physically paralyzed, but like a statue. like standing, sitting still with your arm up in the air, whatever, permanently frozen in that position. What happened, and this is a really fucked up story, it's reality, but it happened late 70s, I think, maybe 80s. Maybe a little earlier. Anyway, this doctor, which Robin Williams plays in this movie called Awakenings, happened to find this drug. If you give an extremely high dosage of it, that normally would be a dangerous dosage to these people that have it, it brings them back to life. Like they've literally been frozen and they're conscious the entire time for like 40 years, for one of them, for example. In the movie, anyways. Yeah, the guy in the movie, that was made up. Like that specific person didn't actually exist, but the movie is based on a book of the actual doctor. Starts with an S. Anyway, yeah, really like pretty terrifying stuff to be, paralyzed and actually conscious the whole time. Like, the in the movie, it's a kid. Like, he starts as a kid and he becomes paralyzed when he's like, I don't know, like 15 or something like that. And it's Robert De Niro, who's in his like 40s probably during the time of the movie. And that time span, he's just been frozen in there the whole time. Like watching his mom get old, stuck in this like mental hospital. It's really, very sad, obviously, but very interesting story. But that movie is called Awakenings, and it's really good. And it's Robin Williams, obviously, so of course it's good. But anyway, so she is beginning to set up. Obviously, she's still weak, and it's going to take time. But she is back. You do still have 4. If there were others that you did, want to use them on, Justin.
That is. I'm sorry. What was the question?
If there are others that you wanted to try to bring back using the other 4 diamonds you have.
So I'm very, very tired after that one. And the other people that we know weren't really very close to us. I'm just going to bring... And also, we didn't have because it's going to take me a lot of time to get all that stuff. I don't know how much real time we have left. And I think I'd rather try to do some of the other stuff on my list.
Sure, that's fine.
Just for game purposes.
Do me a favor. We're going to move on to Sarah's here at the moment. And Ben, by the way, you didn't send me anything, so if you have anything that you remember or think of, either type it to me or just jump in and let me know, because I didn't have any notes from you specifically on what you wanted Norok to be doing this time. Obviously, you're otherwise you'd be with the rest of the group. So if you want to jump in, with something they're doing, that's perfectly fine too. For now, though, Justin, if you would, we're going to jump to Sarah. Think on what we discussed there and give me your answer, because it'll have to happen during this time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Need to make, I'm not too concerned about the roles for that, because it seems feasible based on your capabilities that would be something you could accomplish probably. So just let me know once you've got a decision. So jumping over to Sarah. During this kind of interim gap here, probably the first day or two after all of the events at Tahakapon there, Corrin's Antlers does reply on your scroll of telescription. He replies a few times during this time, but regarding your initial message to him about the lich that Noctua, or the phylactery that Noctua had dropped into the ocean, he's very condescending and a little bit cold in his response, which you've obviously become used to by now, but his response is he essentially tells you not to worry about it, and that the problem of 2 warring creatures in the middle of the ocean is little of concern to him at such a distance. As for the impending threat of the lich, should he survive and seek you out, we'll deal with that problem when it arrives. And then regarding Carcosa, he says, once we've removed Shadow Throne from his ill-gotten seat, we can close the Thinny in the sea, all things in due time. So he although he did reply, was relatively short and didn't express much interest or care that you were so concerned about the lich hunting you all down after you had killed him and thrown his phylactery in the ocean. So there during that time, hang on, give me just a sec here, guys. All right,
She would have also sent that other letter with him or to him, but she doesn't expect a response from that one.
Remind me which one? The one that you had erased and rewrite? Okay, got it. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say that as you guys are traveling, that this would be during the kind of time of flying around and, heading south far enough south into Vabi to not be so... basically to be less of a potential concern of being spotted as enemy invaders of any sort. It's a huge country, of course. So you go far enough south that you're probably not being seen as Empire spies or anything of that sort. Anyways, you kind of during these trips, one late evening aboard the Sevastopol, Mizan slash Nazim B, he alerts the group of a small unknown thing that has been following the Nautiloid for days now. From what he reports, he didn't really think much of it because it's never been able to catch up. It's a small black missile that is just constantly swirling, like it's rotating in a spiral, like a football, like a thrown football that's spinning on an axis, on a horizontal axis, I guess. When the ship is cruising at kind of normal speed, the thing keeps falling behind and gets lost from view, and it's just unable to keep up. But hours later, after you guys have stopped for a little bit, you guys return, and then you can see it on the horizon again, and it keeps kind of slowly trying to catch up to you. For whatever reason, though, this little spiraling bolt, keeps following no matter where you go. Everywhere you travel, it just shows up, a few hours or a day later, becoming visible on the horizon. So he asks what you guys would like to do about it.
I think I know what this is. And will you slow the ship down? Because I kind of need it.
Real quick, what is it? Can you tell us, or is it like a secret?
No, it's Corin Xandalus's new familiar that I'm supposed to train because I killed his other one.
I was wondering if you were going to put that point in there. I wasn't sure you were going to reveal that point. Yeah.
Yep. Because apparently his familiar isn't like my familiar. When mine dies, I can bring her back. He apparently can't do that with his. I get to train a new one.
That's fun.
Probably it.
How do you train a familiar?
I'm not sure. We'll find out.
All right, hope the familiar knows, I guess. Shit.
All right. Then, assuming everybody agrees, of course, Nazim B kind of holds the ship in a floating pattern and just waits for this little thing, and it takes 3-4 hours for it to finally catch up to the ship. And as it gets closer, you do see that that's exactly what it resembled. What Nazim B had told everyone, that it looks like a small black missile, looks like a bat, kind of, but it's constantly spinning on its axis as it's moving forward. Occasionally you see something kind of flip out to the side and then flap, and then it keeps spinning as it's moving its way in. It does eventually make it to kind of near enough to the ship, and then it stops and it tries to kind of hover in place, staring at all of you. It is a small. It's not native to this plane. In fact, I don't know if any. Oh, go ahead and you guys can apply long rests if you need to. I see Pogo was giving his his long rest there, so you guys can apply those if you want. You guys will obviously be ending all this with long rests. So, I don't know if any of you would. Oh yeah, pardon me. I don't know if any of you would recognize this necessarily. Possibly Arteme or Sarah. So if you would, both of you, give me nature checks. Oh, Sarah, do you need me to roll this nature check for you, do?
Yes, please.
All right. There's that.
Nature's not great.
Yeah, no bonus on there for that. And then if you need to re-roll magic items that have charges, it's going to be 2 weeks, so they're probably back to full. All right. Arteme got a 9. No, that's nature. Shit, how's nature wisdom? Fox, use animal handling instead. We'll give that for yours, because that's a fair kind of thing that you potentially would have had. That's interesting. I would have expected nature to be wisdom, not intelligence. But Sarah rolled well.
Nature is intelligence. Animal handling is wisdom.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You do animal handling is fine for this. So, all right. Well, between the both of you, we'll say that you both have heard but never actually seen one before. This is a creature native to one of the plane of hells called Dis. DIS is the plane. I can't type in the Discord chat or the Foundry chat, but it's just DIS is the plane. The creature is called a Nog. That is NHOG. It is a small quadrupedal thing covered in spiny fur that exudes this kind of slippery black oil. It's almost dog-like in shape with huge red eyes. It doesn't have a mouth. It has kind of a snout, like a anteater kind of a snout, I guess, but no mouth beneath it. Needle little talons. You know that they feed by tearing into flesh and then slurping up blood. That's how they consume for their own sustenance. And it has one large wing that is very imbalanced for its body size, that juts out of one side. It's not even symmetrical, it's just out of one side, and is certainly an oddly shaped creature. But they're not particularly harmless, but they are very effective at performing complex commands, and they're able to turn invisible anytime they so choose. Or at least generally they do it when they feel threatened. This one looks like that. I'll drop that in Discord for you. Little cute,
adorable
little dog bat thing. It is kind of cute.
Sarah and be like, that is the ugliest cat I've ever seen in my life. Something's wrong with your cat.
He's adorable.
He is flapping off of the bow of the ship, just kind of flapping there, just staring at you all, not really knowing what to do. You know what? I would say that over time he would fly over just because he's going to be tired, obviously, and just sit on the bow of the ship. He won't come any closer. He just sits there, just kind of staring at everyone. Doesn't make any sound. Just perfectly silent. Just sits there.
I'll walk up to him. I'm assuming that you're Mighties. That was how you said it, right? Mighties.
Yeah. It's Miyades is his name. Here, like this. Really annoying that I can't type in that. I bet if I refresh I can, but I don't know why that paste thing broke it. There's no noise from him. He doesn't. You don't know if he's even capable of making noise actually, but he does kind of walk himself awkwardly over. It's a gate where he has to lean very hard to one side because the weight of that one wing is pulling in the other direction. So he's kind of leaning to one side to walk towards you, and clambers up and sits on your shoulder, and you feel him immediately sink these like literally needle-shaped claws into like your shoulder, into your neck, hard. Like he's not digging, he's not trying to damage you, but that's how it sticks.
There.
Yeah, it'll be a D4. We'll just call it a D4. You're gonna, you know what? I'm not gonna take it away, but just so that you do recognize. Okay, so why did it do that? But it won't let me. There we go. All right, I rolled it that time. Yeah. All right, so only one. But anyways, it will damage you anytime he it needs mobility, we'll say, if he needs to hold on to you, unless you stick him on your backpack or something. But we'll say that an hour later or something, you check your scroll, and there is another response from Corinzantilus. It says, "I see my new charge has arrived. As you seem to be quite occupied of late, I will direct his training myself, but he will require arcane investiture every day to ensure that his training be successful. See that you don't get this one killed like my poor Kamazoth." It'll be 5 total spell slots every day, any level, so long as it's a total of 5. So it could be 3 first and 1 second, something like that is fine.
For how long?
Question mark. The more invested, from what Corinzantilus tells you, Sarah, it'll be. Is that a corgi with wings? Hang on, I gotta look at that. That is fucking awesome. That is really cute. It's funny that actually the motion of its jump actually makes the wings flap open and everything. That's really cool. It makes me sad. Stupid Harold, stupid hips. Could have put those wings on him before he got all broken. Stupid old dog. Anyway, he doesn't tell you how long it's going to take, obviously, but the more invested, the faster he'll grow. So if you have extra at the end of the day, you feel like it'd be a good idea to kind of let him feed. Literally will have to kind of dig a hole in your shoulder, your arm, anything like that, and then suck up blood. So it's gross. It's not going to be fun, but it is how he will need to absorb the spell slots from you. You don't need to manage them for now, too. By the way, we just have too many pets as it is. So what we'll do is just in the event that combat or anything like that, we're just going to assume that he's always around if you need him for something. He doesn't have any combat abilities now; he's too small. But as he grows, he will potentially have benefits for you. But otherwise, in the meantime, at least he's just going to turn invisible if he feels threatened, and he'll just avoid combat, and then kind of come back to the group afterwards. All right, that is it for him. Any jump-ins? Anybody have anything? We're nearing the end here.
Does it speak? Does it speak common?
It doesn't speak at all. It makes no noise at all. Nope, doesn't have a mouth. Kamazoth did a little bit. You guys talked to him a tiny bit, but or at least spoke to him and he responded. But
when I was listening to your discussion or description of it, and you were like, "It's got like an anteater snout used to suck up blood," and you kept going. I was like, "This is gonna be the ugliest goddamn thing I've ever seen."
It is intended to be very ugly. Unfortunately, the AI art generator made it look like a fucking puppy.
Picture of a one-winged fucking.
You know what's funny, dude? What's funny, dude, is I put that in there 4 times, and I kept saying realistic, eldritch looking, evil looking, and trying to get it, and it kept spitting out fucking puppies. Like they all look like puppies.
Oh, you said eldritch and evil. It made a chihuahua.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. It looked like a fucking chihuahua. So, like, I tried literally. It was like 4 or 5 times.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah, like eventually I was like, you know what, it's fine. It's okay if it still looks cute in the picture. Narratively, it can have its own, extra style to it. But it's intended to look very, alien.
Sarah loves Shan. She's gonna love Mighty's too.
Yeah, it wasn't even supposed to look like a puppy either. Like that, the dog thing, not in there at all. It was actually all bat. It was supposed to be all bat looking, but it kept spitting out, things that look quadrupedal like dogs. But anyway. I wasn't mad at it eventually. Just like, fine. It's okay if it looks cute in the picture. Arteme, the coins that have been stuck to the Brimmic have begun to sprout finally. They are indecipherable forms still. They're mostly just masses and shapes that kind of retain this gleam of the coin appearance that they had as eggs. But they've more than doubled in size by now, and they're still attached to the broom like a barnacle on a ship, basically. Like they don't move there, but the fleshy masses themselves are just constantly writhing. They're like little golden fleshy tumors that are stuck to the broom. You, in your previous research, because it's been a while, but you had done a lot of reading trying to find out how to kind of help them develop and what to do. This is the stage at which they're starting to look for a form to take. They don't have eyes in the normal sense, but they basically occasionally develop small kind of ocular sense organs that are reabsorbed back into the body over time. So they are constantly looking around, and if you happen to stick things near them that they recognize as being good, let's say, methods of entrapment, like what a mimic would typically do, that might be the form that they try to take.
Okay, so let's just keep the broom away from like other things and keep them near the broom.
You want a whole bunch of brooms, is what you're trying to do?
Well, I'm trying to make an extra, like a couple more brooms.
Sure.
Yeah, that was the whole point.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure what
if
you were
other
trying to make
mimics
different
for
things.
other things later, but these were specifically for brooms.
Sure.
So we don't have to all share one.
Well, there's still 3 of them on there, so you have...
Oh, 3. I thought I only had put 2.
Did one? I thought it was 3. Didn't you?
No, it was 2.
My note still said 3, so if it was only 2, then maybe it changed it. I just didn't update. That's fine. I'll take 2 as being correct then. All right. So that is it for the, let's say, the gap. We're going to be starting on the 8th of Fogloom. So last chance. Anything else that anybody wanted to do during that time?
At some point, I will have bought 5 uses of Displacer Beast Bone Powder so we can Circle of Return back to the ship. So,
5 total times of being able to transfer. Yeah, gotcha. Okay, sure. Go ahead and mark off an appropriate amount.
Would I have had time to do some of my little things? I was going to try to make friends with Nazim number 2.
Yep.
Small book stories. Those were covered?
Yeah, the book, I'd say that's an easy, telling stories.
That's like a wall or flying from place to place. Right, cool.
Kind of spending time with Nazim B to try to become friends with him. He is, I would say, a little easier to communicate with right now than regular Nazim.
Oh shit, we vibe? We vibing?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, he's basically bored on the ship, so having somebody to hang out with, like he's all gung ho about. And on top of that, of course, regular Nazim, has an empty hole in his head right now. So
yeah, Nazim B can be my soundboard for the stories I put together. So so me and Nazim B are now tight. We're friends.
He helps you with the editing, so that you can get get those points in there real snappy. All right. So anything else, guys?
I was gonna do like the stealth training and stuff like that.
Sure. Let's say you get 4 attempts in there 4 times during 4 span I guess separate hours. Let's say to try to spend in it. Go ahead and give me 4 stealth rolls. Grab my notes for that.
There's nothing I can.
And then I was also going through the book.
What was that, Sako?
I was saying there's nothing I can look around for armor class equipment or gear or anything.
Yeah, there definitely would be a thing. You would have had opportunities, especially in the Dead South and Vabi. Let me see here. What would be some potential ones for you? You guys have a good chunk of cash, let's say. So what I'll do, Sako, is I'll find, I'll do some rolls basically and find like a list of things that you can choose from if you want to buy some stuff. And then we'll go from there. Let me see if I have any available quickly here. So those roll tables are often a pain to deal with, especially as far as balance is concerned. There it is. Sorry.
Would you mind if I added 4 1,000 GP diamonds to my inventory?
Yep, go ahead.
All right, cool.
Let me find a better roller. Give me just one sec, guys.
If anyone else has a spell that requires a nice diamond, does anyone need a diamond? I spent like a solid week and a half getting all this shit together too. So
I figured you guys were all kind of traveling together during that time anyway, so hence Sako having some opportunities to pick up some things here. I'm not finding anything that I like just yet, Sako. I'll put a list together for you after game and give it to you in Discord, and then you can pick out, whatever sounds interesting for you with prices and everything. Yeah, that Dark Province, that's a little closer. Put a big old wing on one side, and that's closer to what I was describing there. Trying to get AI to give me. All right, so back to my notes here. All right, Arteme. Oh, sorry, I didn't look at your stealth rolls. Only one of those really. It is slowly improving, but it's going to take some time. Oh well, one of them you'd actually rolled with advantage, and that was the one you got a high roll on.
Oh wait, I thought I hit normal.
One of them, the one with a 21, that was rolled with advantage, and I can't see what the other number was.
They were all supposed to be normal. Oops.
It's fine. That's 5 rolls instead of 4. Not a big deal for a span of 2 weeks. It's feasible that you'd be able to fit that in, so no big deal. Still one success. All right. Arteme, in particular, in checking in while you're back at the Crow Fort there, on Lieutenant Clover, you've seen, much to your dismay, of course, you kind of expected this, but her recuperation has slowed to a crawl. Whatever substances that were being pushed in through those tubes in her chest have made dental healing, let alone any natural remedies, significantly less potent than they otherwise would be. Her regrowth and recuperation it's still moving, but it is very slow, and is clearly extremely painful for her.
Okay, I'll do what I can, but there's not much I could do without the course anymore.
Yeah.
I could do regular stuff, but it's going to be slow.
Yeah. So it's the 8th of Fogloom. It is much late. Well, it's only 2 weeks difference there, but it is late in the year and starting to get quite cold and everything in this region at least. But during this span of time, as you've been checking back in at the Crow Fort, Maibi has been keeping you guys apprised of the plan, essentially on being able to get into a secret area essentially in Vabi and try to. It's clear she intends to overthrow the Khan entirely. You guys kind of knew that already, but it's becoming more clear as she's been giving you some details on this. She lets you know that she was able to trade Masedzu's mantle, that cloth, that old ancient cloth that was crumbling. She was able to trade that you guys had recovered from Amanek's tomb to get an audience with some important and corrupt members of the Vabian High Courts there, and with some political maneuvering by the head of the Sirocco, so the Sirocco hasn't been mentioned a lot, but it's basically the group that Ozzy and Maibi both belong to, the kind of secret Seerdamen, the ones that are trying to change things in Vabi. Well, the leader of those is a woman named Serana, and she kind of, with some help from her, they have prepared a very brief lapse in the security in a place called the Deep Vaults, where essentially during the changing of the guard, there will be a brief moment in which they can teleport you guys in. And that's the kind of aim, that when that moment arises, that you guys are all prepared and ready to go. There is a lot of very foreboding, almost resigned to this being a suicide mission type of thing. The odds of success are very low. And so she's trying to kind of warn you guys ahead of time that this will be extremely difficult. And once you get in there, you won't really be able to get out until you succeed. She's given you a little info that the deep vaults themselves, well, Nazim, you'd already know about them. That's something that is, a famous rumor in Vabi, but most of the group have probably heard of, at least from communicating with Maibi over time. It is literally the bank vault, essentially, where the royals and all the important courts, nobles, and so on of any of the higher-ranking people or just people with a lot of money. That's where their phylacteries are stored in Vabi. Now you guys all know what phylacteries are, of course, but that's they're all stored there. The plan is she doesn't have Maybe doesn't have all the details and wouldn't be able to share them if she did, but she does kind of prepare you all that when you're ready to go, you'll be teleported in and you won't be able to teleport yourselves back out. You'll be stuck in there essentially until they can try to teleport you back out, but you won't be able to get back out on your own unless you can get back to a specific place. So there's kind of one way in, one way out type of thing.
That sounds terrible. I hate everything about that plan.
So it is. You do know that it is deep in Vabi. It is. I'm gonna pull back the curtain a little bit here as a DM. I'd actually intended for you guys to go into Vabi, like the above ground basically, and just be in cities of Vabi and doing some investigation and so on, and kind of figure some of this out yourself. But I want to be. We've gotten so far behind. I really wanted to kind of nudge things along, so I'm kind of jumping you directly into this place. But it is a huge complex that will take a while to get through anyway. So if essentially we can get you guys out into the city if you have things that you want to potentially do there, or people you may want to spy, things like that. We can do that as well. But the kind of main goal here will be inside of these deep vaults in this dungeon. So all of that aside, your characters don't know that. You guys as the players do. So if there's something you want to do, just let me know, and we'll arrange for it narratively to make sense. That all make sense?
Yep, pretty much.
All right. So over time, this happens. It is you were expecting this window of time for you guys to be able to teleport in to happen on the 8th of Fogloom. It'll be in the evening on the 8th, even, so it is kind of late in the day already. Is there anything that you want to do on that day before you guys teleport in?
Way before, I would have sent a letter with some of the gold to the elves, letting them know what happened with the Wood Sage's course, and that my plan will be to try and get it back. Okay. But that is unfortunately gonna have to be on hold a little bit.
All right, we'll make a note of that. Give me a ballpark, I guess, of how much gold, because it isn't an unlimited amount for those gold bars, but it is a good chunk. You spent some, and then Sako might need to buy some stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking about 500 gold or something.
All right.
As hey, sorry this happened. We tried to bring one of the elves responsible, but they got away. I'll just explain that part.
All right.
And give a description of the sketch of her, so if they ever encounter her.
But it was thievery afoot. Thievery.
Yeah, so hopefully
she was from that. Yeah, Eleda wasn't she wasn't a pushover. She was trained specifically for that, so that she got real slippery, with pardon the pun about the grease, but she was real slippery even before the grease, so not too big of a surprise if she was able to escape.
Yeah, I had to realize that Nark hadn't actually knocked her out. I would have used Shillelagh and just knocked her with my staff, but I literally thought we'd already knocked her out.
Norik approached, but yeah, I mean, unless there's rolls made and stuff like that, it didn't happen.
Yeah. Time still continued to lapse.
Yep. All right.
I'll be right back.
All right. So anything else then? The day of, because remember, you're going to be teleporting in. You'll have full rest. Everybody will be full resources unless you otherwise spend them in the earlier hours of the day. But any other preparations or anything? Because like I said, once you're in, it's going to be a lot harder for you to extricate yourselves.
Do you have any spells
I want
to need to tweak?
I just want to grab some potions. Healing potions from somewhere.
Yeah, what about my garden? How's that going with the herbs and stuff for healing and sleep and...
When you go back to it, everything has regrown, except you do notice that when you return to your mushrooms, about half of them are gone. There is a small note. I think there was a small note. We'll give it just a second here because a particularly important person at this moment has stepped away. So
yeah. So I'm just gonna put some more to grow. Check the herbs, make some healing potions if I can, and Oh, what about the other project I had? The
leather.
Yes, the leather for the teleportation circle to get back easier.
Yeah, the stencil.
All the time.
Yeah, the last time you didn't roll real well, but there's definitely enough time during this 2-week period to make another attempt. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand. Sako, what? Any specific spells? What did you mean as far as spells to prepare?
I was just reminding everyone take a look at your spells, so in case you need to learn the
okay.
spell or just cue something up.
Gotcha. Okay. Also not great, Arteme. You cut it, and you think it's right, and then you go to lay it down, and it's half an inch too short, and it doesn't quite line up perfectly. You feel like you could probably get it on the third try. The next time you try, the DC will only be 10. So
how many times would I have been able to do this, like, within the 2-week period?
We'll say that because of the amount of time it's going to take to tan everything as well, that's it. But you can do it, it'd probably only take you a day. You just need more leather to do it is all.
Okay, so I'm going to go hunt, grab some leather, and then try again.
Okay, sorry. I was going to say you can't, but because the Crowford is still surrounded by the dead Vabians, but you do have the Sevastopol to be able to fly out. That's fine. So we'll say that you were able to get it. Go ahead and make one more roll. Justin, are you back?
I am.
Was there a note left behind? Fox is right next to roadblock.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
How do I put this? When Pogo went foraging for some special mushrooms, did he leave a note behind?
When I went foraging in where Arteme is staying, I wouldn't just let her know that I'm gonna go. I wouldn't. Okay. I'm gonna go grab some mushrooms from the stock of your mushroom growth.
All right, so in that case, then yeah, Arteme, you knew that half your mushrooms were gone because Pogo had taken.
I would have given them to him because I would be very specific about my personal space of keeping everybody out.
That's fine. All right, so mushrooms were had, and nobody is upset about it. Then, all right. Anything else?
To attune to the amulet of expel and unattune to the lithic of life thieving, but
okay.
Because I can't do my character sheet.
Oh, duh. I'm sorry. It's like, that's fine. You can go ahead and do that. Let me go ahead and do it for you.
I would love to.
Let's see. Hopefully it won't be too long. It'll probably only be... when I bought my first one, it said it would be, it said 1 to 2 weeks, and I got it in 3 or 4 days, so it was pretty quick. Oh, let's see. Lithic of life thieving. There we go. Are you giving that to anyone else in case they may want to use it, or are you just hanging on to it?
I will give it back to Pogo.
Okay.
Because it was originally his, so...
Yep. All right.
Which thing was it?
But I'm assuming lithic of life thieving. But I'm assuming we're facing a lot of undead, and I'm pretty sure it said it doesn't work with undead, so...
You do... Yeah, she's given you a little bit of awareness that it is mostly undead, but they are also the Sirdaman and the Erdaman do try to summon and bind demons as well. So yeah, creatures from other planes are a reasonable expectation to find there.
Okay, so I'm not gonna bring Sai just in case.
Okay, are you leaving her on the Sevastopol?
Yeah, I'll leave her on the ship because I'm not gonna risk them trying to.
All right. That is an absolutely fair, I wouldn't say expectation, but at least it's reasonable that could be done. So, Pogo, I put the Lithic of life thieving back in your inventory. It would require attunement if you needed to use it. If anybody else is adjusting anything for attunement, let me know. Well, I guess you guys could do it yourselves. You don't need me for that.
So just to confirm, we're heading into that. We're getting teleported into Vabi.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the plan. Yep. So any preparations or things you need to do?
Sorry, would Pogo want his Gem of Seeing back?
No, you can hold on that.
Okay.
That one doesn't require attunement, so you can pass that around to whoever.
Yeah. Well, when she disappeared, I guess if I would have still had it when she disappeared, then that would have...
You gotta remember. You gotta say these things in the moment.
I was a big monkey at the time.
No, just earlier today. Just in this game.
I would have still had it.
Oh yeah.
But Arteme had it and she was up.
I'll be honest, that girl was fucking getting out of there. She was too determined. She just had so much determination.
Well, okay, but you got to think about it from her perspective that you guys were going to turn her over and she was expecting to be executed. She was not lying. She would have given you her things if you were just going to let her go. That's all she cared about. But if you're going to, get her executed, of course she's going to try to save her life. and she has the capability to do so. You've seen her do it multiple times. So
okay, but why would she have gotten executed for stealing something? Like,
because she's an Anuadam lieutenant, and that
Elf law is very serious.
Yeah, she's a terrorist, so of course they would, not be okay with that. So
fair.
Yeah. All right. Any other preparations, guys? All right, Ben. You said like 2 words this whole game, so anything real quick, if you know. I haven't checked on you enough.
Nothing specific.
Okay. All right. Then the time comes that my EB takes you to the teleportation chamber, and the thing begins to light up. You recognize that she is not the one invoking this incantation. It is glowing on its own, which means that somebody else is opening the portal remotely. I will. You know what? I won't say that. Never mind.
Real quick, right. we're teleporting into someplace safe to our knowledge, right? Like it's like a
definitely not. No,
but like not safe, but like it's not going to be in the middle of like a bunch of soldiers. Like it's a
okay.
At least a safe room.
From what my EB has told you, it won't be exactly. Yeah, you won't be.
Like we don't have to. We don't have to disguise ourselves right now and change. All right.
Yeah, from what she's told you, it should be an empty room basically with her boss is who should be there.
All right, because we have a disguise kit, we're gonna have to try to fit in. We're gonna try to sneak around, which is everyone knows Norok is like the best sneak ever. we may have to do something. I'm not sure. So did they say that we couldn't teleport out because of basically the magic there will block it?
Yeah, it's a giant a series of vaults, and they're basically the teleportation in is normally never opened unless specifically like the Khan or someone needs to teleport in. Yeah. And they've arranged they used a corrupt politician to arrange for a short window when the security's turned off. Basically, you're going to teleport in, and then it's going to be turned right back on again when the guards show back up.
Okay,
so like a changing guard type thing. Yep.
You can't teleport out using that method, but what about my tree teleportation if I make a tree?
You should be under the expectation that no means of magic will pass through the barriers that are surrounding the place.
So, have we figured out how we're going to get out and like exactly what we're going to do when we're there?
Maibi has told you that she knows Serana has a plan and that she is not the kind of person that would just abandon you all in there, that she needs you to succeed and therefore will be doing everything she can to make sure that you're not, stranded. But the plan is basically there's one way in and one way out, and if you go in and complete the job, the way out will be opened as well. And she can also teleport you around inside the place as well. So if you need to quickly escape, she can get you to a safe room type of thing. Which...
the good news here, guys, is that plans always really do work out well for us. Like, we're real good at following plans.
It always works.
Probably our best trait.
Yeah. That is fair. I would say that my EV even agrees that you should expect things to go sideways as soon as you're in.
Sorry,
but at least
following plans. I thought the plan was to knock her out. Okay.
Really pissed Fox off with that one.
I just had to. I'm sorry.
I was asking for it. I wanted Norok to come knock. I didn't want Pogo to be standing there because if she was had say a third health, I do 4 damage with my sword. It would have been like me tenderizing a chicken.
Just sit still. Just wailing it.
Why won't you sleep?
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and teleport us over. I was really annoyed about this earlier, so this map really sucks, and I'm gonna have to just do it myself. So apologies for the crappy map in the short term. I'll explain it here in a minute and let everybody get loaded in.
The days leading up to this that I have Mighty's, if we're not doing anything, I'm dumping every spell slot I have into him before I go to bed.
Sure. That was the day before, so it's only, it's not a huge amount of time. But yeah, you would have had... 1/7, 2/6, whatever it is on the way down. If you would tab those for me and just give me the number, because there is a number that you'll need to. There are thresholds that once you pass those are when, let's say, certain abilities, he may grow to enough to be functional for you. The first threshold is quite a ways off, but that still could be a good chunk to of progress to get
and
you
it
there.
Can only take magic from her, right? We can't just
correct. Yeah,
talk to her.
Technically, it could be anybody. I'm just going to tell you that it, for gameplay, not in narrative, but for gameplay reasons, that she has to feed it.
Okay.
Specifically, so that it would be Sorconnell. So, all right. Everybody. Yeah. Okay. Cool. It finished loading for everybody.
Yeah.
Itty bitty little tiny room.
Dark.
Mine's still just black.
Okay.
I can see just us, but nothing.
Yeah, just you guys in a very tiny room, right?
All right.
Fox, did it load for you?
I finally loaded.
Okay.
First thing I'm gonna say is,
looks good.
We need to whisper now. All right.
Well, hang on. You guys aren't actually in this room yet. Sorry. So that's part of the reason that this map sucks. I'll get to that in a second. It's not the art. Like, the art isn't my favorite, but it is a little bland. That isn't a big deal. My main problem is that this map is really awful for VTTs. It's not good for virtual tabletop. It's intended to be like around a table, and then even then it would be kind of annoying, to be honest. But it's not scaled correctly. So, for example, that bit that's right in front of Nazim on the map there, that's 1.5 feet wide on the map. It's 2 feet wide maybe for a 5 foot square. You can't do that on a VTT. I'd have to scale that to be one grid, which means the entire map, because it's relatively large, the entire map would have to be like 10,000 pixels tall, which is obnoxious in size, and then it wouldn't work in a VTT. Anyways, real annoying complaint, because I spent $15 on this freaking map pack specifically so that I wouldn't have to make the map. The thing is, I only did it to try to save time so that I wouldn't have to try to draw the maps myself. And then I got it, and the map layout is great, and I like the design. Again, the art isn't my favorite, but it's not bad. But even after all that, because it doesn't work for VTT, I still have to freaking make the maps myself. So I'm very annoyed. So, anyways, very very annoying thing to come across when I was setting this up. But as far as the arrival, what's happening here when you first teleport in, there's the typical blue flash, as you guys have become accustomed to. You arrive in a shadowy hall with multiple different glowing runic circles that are surrounding you. They're all over on the floor. This big shadowy chamber with pillars between the floor and the ceiling, and then multiple different runic circles. Okay, thanks, Becky. Geez, 8th already. Wow. Just 1/7 and 1/8, right?
Yeah,
okay.
1/6, 7th, and 8th, and then 3,
okay.
2nd, 3rd, 4th.
Gotcha. Okay, all right. So you've teleported into this kind of wide, very dim, dark chamber. The only light in here is coming from this kind of dim blue glow off of the runic circles, other than light that you guys have emanated yourselves from, a little glowing orb from Arteme, for example. While you kind of gather your bearings and fight off that persistent nausea of magical teleportation that you always receive, for the brief moment there. Before you have time to kind of consider your situation here, a thin, what's the word? I've used it in the past specifically for Ozzy, but basically an image of a woman. It looks exactly the same as the times of when Ozzy has astral projected essentially in to assist you before. Appears in the middle of the chamber. She kind of spins her, looking around, trying to spot you. She eventually sees you there. There's a relatively large chamber with a bunch of these circles here, and she kind of stops and turns to face you. She says, "I'm Serana, leader of the Sirocco. Maibi has asked that I bring you here in the hopes that you might help our people. Welcome to Vabi." She says, "Many of the Dolmen chafe under the rule of the Khan. Once this was a land of learning and power, but now our death scours our homeland, while the Lich Lord ignores every concern outside of his never-ending quest to retain his immortality. If his madness is not stopped, only the Mortis will worship him, as there will be none left alive." She looks around a bit. She says, "This chamber here is a gatehouse from which I can send you into the deep vaults, into the heart of Adawa Khan's power. In these tunnels beneath Megiddo, far in the dead south, these deep vaults are a secret laboratory and containment structure beneath which lies a hidden storehouse where the phylacteries of the Khan's elite are held. There, with your aid, the Lich Lord's power can be broken, and the ability for future Vabian Khans to extend their lives so haphazardly can be prevented altogether. These vaults are vast. They are an active complex of death mages performing experiments and repairing and raising endless armies of undead or abyssal creatures. Anything the Erdemen believe they can control, they bring here and attempt to bind. There are dozens of vaults. Each is dedicated to the creation and control of a different form of monstrous weapons of war. And their individual vaults are separated out with very strict access controls that prevent movement between the vaults without the proper arcane keys. On top of that, any disturbances that you make while you're here risk raising the awareness of the security forces inside, so making your way through to the phylactery vault will be dangerous and exhausting. But I offer you an opportunity here to end the obitocracy of this once great nation and go down in history as the people who helped end the oppression and slavery of countless millions, both live and dead, and cripple the ability for our self-styled God King to wage war on our neighbors in the Empire. Will you help us?
I mean, that's why we're here, isn't it? Now, do you have this written down somewhere, or some more details? Like, are you expecting us to go vault by vault to find the phylacteries, and then, or do you know exactly which one we're looking for? Any clue?
Maibi taps your shoulder. She's not really there. This was recorded.
I didn't even know Maibi was with us, so that's cool.
Yeah, she's teleporting with you.
All right.
So, are we just like blindly looking to destroy it, or?
I mean, I think we're going to just destroy his, and then fuck it, might as well destroy the ones of all the people around him if they're the elite class of Vabi, and if it might at least throw enough chaos and sow enough of that into the situation to make it more disastrous for him.
Maibi says, "I have a list at the very least that we want to destroy, but." If you all are feeling particularly
this is interesting.
Angry
how do you
by the time we
destroy a
get there.
phylactery? How do you actually destroy one?
The vault itself has means of doing so.
All right.
We can't just...
That would have been good to know like 3
it.
weeks ago.
Yeah, it might have been helpful before, but I mean, you didn't... It's not...
Who knows?
It's not
Who would have known?
You just carry it around. Yeah, but the vault...
Who could have thunk it?
Well, where they're created, they can be destroyed, and you didn't know where his was created. Although, if you had still had his, by the way, and hadn't dropped it in the ocean, you could have destroyed it here.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Something totally different. Doesn't have to do with you, maybe. My bad. So do you know? Do you know? Obviously, if that was just a recording.
She said, "Yeah, it is."
Can we speak to her, like through some other means?
She'll be able to speak to us, yes, and she holds out a sending stone.
So,
this one is already attuned.
You might know this. Like, will invisibility help us here? Should we? What is our best option? Like to sneak further in. The classic: find some guards and take their uniforms, squeeze Norak into one if we can. What would you suggest as a way for us to traverse from here to there? We don't have the. I'm just gonna kind of close touch my head, we have this unless we need to. I'm gonna look at Sarah. Shave it all off. I have to shave our whole heads.
You're gonna need extra hair, so you gotta shave Sarah's to get extra. She says probably. Every bit of cunning we can muster while we're here. These creatures are not unintelligent. They will see through basic disguises. Invisibility as well in some cases. But the vaults themselves are all different. It's not... we're not dealing with the same environment in every one. And this first... where we've landed here... Oh, shit, I'm sorry. There's one last bit, actually, here that Maibi does explain to you all. She says... The glyphic key that I was able to acquire will get us into the abyssal prisons, which is where the mages focus on summoning and breaking and chaining of demons. It will be dangerous there, and our only way back will be locating glyphic keys to other vaults while we're in there. Serrano is going to attempt to locate, or has been attempting to locate, a map and other glyphic keys to help us navigate the complex, but while we're in there, I do have this one, and if we find a portal, we can teleport back into this chamber where we should be safe. But otherwise, every means of disguise, of visibility, any means that we have of sneaking through or destroying the things that find us, it's all on the table. Mm-hmm.
How many spell slots do I have?
I mean, you can see it on your sheet. What do you mean?
Yeah, but how many can I prepare? Is it 22?
Oh, total prepared? Did I update that? Let me see. It is your wizard level plus your wisdom your druid level plus your wisdom modifier. You are 16, and your wisdom is plus 5. Yes, 21. So it is updated. Pardon me.
Okay.
So in your spellbook... Yeah. Well, right now you have 22 prepared, it says, and you have 21 preparable.
Okay.
Yeah, so you need to take one off. One prepared one. It doesn't count the ones that are yellow. The ones that are yellow are always prepared, like things from your feats and from your circle of the land and all that stuff. So All right, Sarah, yours. Well, I guess Pogo, you don't have any that are prepared. Nazim doesn't have any that are prepared. So does Sarah, right?
I don't have any what?
Any spells you have to prepare?
No. I don't get to prepare stuff. I just gotta.
Yeah, Bard and Warlock, right? Yeah. So okay. Well, you have Wizard, Sarah, so you have prepared spells. For a couple levels.
Yeah.
But if those aren't changing, that's fine. So, all right. Anyway, so Maibi gives you that information that you guys have the key that will get you into one of the vaults called the Abyssal Prisons. This is one of dozens. I mean, narratively, I'll tell you, of course, you don't need to go through dozens of different vaults, but each one of the vaults is its own separate, like, kind of mini dungeon, like small to medium-sized dungeon. So, you know, there is a lot to move through, but, you know, if you pick the right rooms and things like that, it doesn't take that long to go through all of it. And there will be...
I can't see what I have prepared, so...
You haven't changed stuff in Wizard for a while, so it's the little stars to the right, so the little sun icon.
I can't. They're not. Nope.
Oh, duh, you can't see them. Yeah, I see. Okay. If you, in that case, then I mean, if you use any of them today that you know you would have otherwise needed to prepare, just let me know, and we'll as long as you're not cheating,
3?
Meta knowledge, it's fine.
I've got 3 I can.
Yeah, 3 prepared. Yep, or 3 preparable rather. All right, so she's giving you all that information. You are still in the what she called the gatehouse there. This map here is where you will teleport after leaving the gatehouse, and that's when things get dicey, I guess is how I'll say that. So if you are all ready to go, then you can use the gatehouse to use the abyssal key. The room there of those teleportation circles, basically. The key unlocks one of them. You see which one it is just when you approach with the key, the glyphic key that she's given you. So you can tell, the ones that you have available to you basically will react when you have the appropriate keys for them. And you were able to teleport in. So if no other concerns there, let me get to that room. Sorry, in my notes here. I scrolled the wrong direction.
Just so everyone knows, I can make us invisible. I've got my makeup kit. If we
have seen.
Yeah, if you don't know what to expect on the other side, but if you want to, prepare in any other means before you step into the open portal, now would be the time. Just let me know. Nothing. You don't know if you need to, even. Maibi tells you you probably don't. Oh, shit, sorry. So also, Maibi is staying behind in the gatehouse because she has to open the portals on that side for you to be able to get back out when you activate them. She's not going with you. She's staying in the gatehouse. She's still in the place. She's just not going into the individual vaults with you, if that makes sense. She can still communicate with you to go. So,
is locate object a good one to have?
Man, we really should have done during that 2 weeks? We should have gotten like five Vabian outfits.
Buy some clothes. Sorry, Sarah, you were buying potions, so we'll say that you were able to find, just been traveling around, 10 greater potions. Healing.
Oh, how many was I able to make from my plants?
2 from yours. It's 1 per week from those, so it's 2 from yours. So I'll just say that you had enough time to successfully make 2 of them. So you have a total of 12 greater healing potions.
Does Ben have ownership of my token? Is that why I'm not able to do anything?
Let me look. I doubt it. I probably, because wasn't there a time when it was like giving us a problem?
Well, I think I had ownership of Ben's, and I was
maybe it's the other way around. Okay.
Yeah. Should have just logged into mine.
Becky has owner for Sarah, but not Ben. I bet that'll resolve it. You might need to refresh Sarah or Ben. But I just added ownerships for both. So for Sarah, so Ben and Becky. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't even think about that. Been a long time since I've needed to make those adjustments. All right, so any preparations for teleporting in? All right, I'm gonna take silence as acquiescence.
Well, I'm hoping. I was assuming that maybe would have some sort of recommendations, but she's clearly just here to pull switches. So sure.
Well, she doesn't know what the vault. She doesn't know what the inside looks like either. So she doesn't necessarily know. I'll fix it for you, Becky. Just name it as 10 healing potions. Yeah, that's fine. Just name it 10 healing potions or 10 greater healing potions, and I'll put the actual ones in there for the clickable, healing and stuff. Anyway, yeah, she doesn't know what the inside is going to look like or what room you'll land in, any of that stuff. So she's never been in them either. It is, it's very strictly controlled. So limited information until they can get you a map, which her boss is working on. All right. So for the sake of brevity here, you all teleport in. You land in an extremely densely packed, like a tiny little room where there's barely enough space for, even if you were, all halflings, it'd still be a little bit on the tight side. So fitting a Yogg and, two human-sized and two halfling-sized, it is very dense in there. Sarah and Pogo, you guys are not actually in the wall, obviously. You're in that tiny little hallway, just kind of smushed in there. And Nazim, you are looking over. And you guys having to reload to get the ownership back?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Nazim, you look over and see there is a lock plainly visible on this double door at the end. They're very thin double doors, it's kind of pointless for them to even be double doors. But there's a lock in the middle of it that doesn't look like it goes through. It looks like it's like drawn on or fake. What are you guys doing?
Put the key in the door. As I'm crushed up between Norok's massive thighs.
You're not even thigh high. You're knee high at best.
Yeah.
Stuck in a closet here.
Yep.
All right. Well, obviously, I'll inform.
I'm just gonna say it, guys. This plan's already fucking terrible. Fucking go. Who's got the key?
Okay, so we need to figure out where to go.
So behind you is a glowing white portal. It's the blue circle on the ground, and there's kind of a thick mist that goes up from the floor to the ceiling, and it obscures everything beyond it. So you just see this white portal that you just kind of stepped out of, that you would guess, of course, would take you back into the guard room or gatehouse rather. And in front of you, on the other side of this, little angled hallway, on the other side of Nazim, is a locked door. Well, there's a door with a lock that looks like it's painted on. It doesn't look real on the door.
Okay. I'm gonna ritually do detect magic.
Okay.
To try and see what the door is.
You know it takes 10 minutes, right?
Yes.
Can I just walk up and see if my hand will go through the door?
Okay. You walk up and you kind of have to slip past Nazim. You're, as a halfling, it's a little easier for you to do. You push on the door. It is solid. It is real.
Okay. There's no doorknob.
No doorknob. Nothing? Just a little painted on lock that is like. I said this from a distance, but even from 10 feet away, Nazim was able to see that it doesn't go through. It's just flat on the wall. Jeez.
Ow.
I can't turn those. Well, actually, hang on. I wonder if I can. I changed.
Freddy's.
Is it the meaning that the sound was jump scare-ish?
Yeah.
Here, I'll turn that down a little bit. Why is it playing over and over again too? Maybe here. Let me just close it. I don't know if yeah, I got it. Cool. Yeah, that did it. All right, that's gone. I don't know why it would be on repeat, but anyway, yeah. So the painted on lock is not real. Obviously, there's nothing to interact with. It's just flat on the surface of the door.
Didn't we just get a magical fucking key that just fucking? Am I losing my mind?
Oh, that key, by the way, it's a gem on a chain. Like it's not a door key. It's a magical key for opening portals.
And we put it up against the fucking... Okay, so that key, we can't put it up against the painted-on door handle and nothing happens?
Nothing happens, yeah.
Alright, can I push the door open? Does it just push open?
It's definitely secured. Something's blocking it. It feels like it's locked, but you don't see you see that painted-on lock, that's all. Oh shit! Sorry. Actually, how you know what? How hard were you pushing the door?
I don't know. I'm not that big. Probably. I imagine a 6-year-old trying to.
Okay. If you were actually trying to push it,
I would either push or I would try to do like sliding glass doors. I'm not sure which one.
All right. Make a DC 14 con save.
Perfect. Exactly what I wanted. Great start.
Rita Hayworth of the Shawshank Redemption. All right. There is a blast of force erupting from the door. Pogo, you are thrown back into Nazim. Nazim, you would fall prone, except you smacked into the wall behind you. Would say everybody, well, yeah, Kassara went up to the door too. Everybody except for Norak, who is kind of, he has to be kind of around the wall because there's just not enough room for him in the hallway with everyone, takes 7 damage, bludgeoning damage. Or sorry, force damage, rather. You would be knocked prone, but because it's so dense, there's just no room for everybody to fall down.
Did the door at least open?
No, it did not open.
Spell magic.
You know what? I'm going to say real quick. We're just for the purposes of applying Artemis' ritual there. You finish it, Artemis, and there's definitely magic beyond the door, but the door itself doesn't appear to have anything on it.
Okay, so this is probably going to be a job for Norok. And it was what, 4 bludgeoning damage?
7. Oh, good. Remove the concentration as well. Oh, that was from Tasha's Hideous Laughter. That's definitely gone. Here we go.
Okay, my stuff is there, but it's, like, not appearing properly.
What do you mean?
I have, like, my character sheet up, but it's just empty.
Refresh. I see 103. I see where you applied the 7, so it looks like it worked.
Okay, I'll just refresh the page and see.
Pogo, give me a perception check.
On it.
Never mind. You know what, though, with a 10, when you pushed on the door, you failed. It wasn't high enough to get the thing I was asking to roll it for, but something different that you may have noticed. It feels like where the door is held is at the bottom, which is a little strange. It's not near, like normally, where the door would be locked, you'd feel the resistance in the center, or possibly in the top. It was like a bolt or something, but it's in the bottom of the door.
Is there just a fucking bolt that we pull up from the bottom of the door, like closet door?
You look down at the floor, and sure enough, the painted-on lock is just a distraction. There is a bolt at the bottom of the door.
Well then.
We're
off to a real good fucking start.
Yeah, I didn't make that one. That's literally one of the ones in this dungeon. There's like 10 different places that you can start in this dungeon. That's just one of the ones, but it's all right, puppy.
That's fine.
Yes,
that works, I guess.
Yeah, but you can see a bolt at the bottom of the door.
Pogo's going into this already annoyed.
Well, that's a good start. That's exactly what you want in D&D, is make sure that all the players are annoyed. I will tell you, just because you guys are, experienced adventurers at this point, you would have have a general idea of being prepared before opening doors and kind of keeping an eye on that kind of stuff. You can see a dim glow that is moving beneath the door. There's only about an inch gap, or maybe half-inch gap beneath the door, and there's light that is moving around on the other side of the door.
So someone's probably on the other side.
Yeah, it's a bluish glow, by the way. It's not yellow light or torchlight or anything of that sort. I will tell you that this dungeon, there is a lot of kind of simple, mundane traps as well. This is a kind of a classic style of dungeon, but you don't really have to do very much of it. Like basically, if you're good about paying attention to clues and things like that, you can get through it pretty quickly. So anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I have my boots that make no noise, but for everybody else, I could always put pass without trace.
The noise from the blast would have definitely been loud enough to alert something on the other side of the door. I'll put it that way.
Okay. Well, that's a moot point.
And you guys talking and so on. Yeah. So it's not that you can't continue to be. I just mean that there's already been a good bit of noise in this chamber. What are you doing?
Do you guys want path touching?
One more time?
I don't think yet. Maybe we should save that for when we need to be like sneaking into someplace or past something.
Are there many halfling guards in Vabi? Like, I know Vabi doesn't like living people, but are they very prejudiced against halfling types?
No. No, if anything, halflings are pretty well accepted. Yeah.
All right.
Especially Gleeman, for that matter. But yeah, halflings in general as a species, yeah.
All right. What if I just make myself look like a guard, go out there, and just whoever is there, just talk our way out of it? Do you want me to try to just go talk our way out of it? You guys stay in the closet for a bit.
Sure.
Why not?
If Mighty's is invisible, can I see through his eyes like I would Noctua?
No. He isn't attuned to you.
I wanted to check.
Yep. Although that could be something potentially in the future, but at least at the moment, yeah, he's
I fucking lied anyways,
he doesn't have combat capabilities at this point.
My Hat of Disguise isn't even fucking tuned, so fuck, that's just not gonna work. I can just walk out.
I mean, I can cast Seeming on everyone and make us all look like we're from Vabi.
I mean, it's probably the best thing I can think of. I can just do the talking. We can just go out there and I'll just see if I can bullshit my way through whatever these people assume happened. Are you guys against the idea of us being, a little sexual in here? That's maybe a good go-to?
What? How did you arrive?
Why else would there be 5 of us in a tiny room? We need to get our story straight.
Okay, you're in a dungeon filled with demons and undead, and that's where
everyone relaxes in their own way. You're yucking our yums. It's called yucking your yums, and that's.
I think it's safe to yuck a yum of somebody who's discussing sexual situations with undeads.
Can we just no.
What is the seeming, Sarah?
To make everyone at least look like we are from Vabi.
Okay.
Vabian.
Okay.
That was the plan, right?
Yeah, love it. No, this is fantastic. So we're wearing Vabian guard robes or guard attire. Does anyone want to pretend like they're?
It just looks like we are.
Yeah.
If they try to touch us, we're not going to be like how we look.
Oh, no one touches a Vabian Theum what are they called? The magician ones?
Erdeman or Seardaman. Well, Seardaman and then the Erdeman are the.
Seardaman. I'm going to make me look like a Seardaman so that I'm just very. Get away from me! Don't touch a Seardaman. Don't you know any better? Yeah. I got this. We got this.
All right. So, and then you're opening the door and stepping in.
Yeah. Does Seardamans have any accents, or are they just
typically Vabian? Sure.
Vabian. So
I would say that especially as a Gleeman, you've got that accent down. Yeah.
All right. What would you like as the Vabian accent?
I mean,
it seems like they would do German. If I was thinking about things like that.
I mean, it's country wise, it would be more like Libyan, North Africa. But German is a fine accent for it. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to do North Africa. That's a little racist.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's fair. Yeah. I would say that.
How about I just
they're not a monoculture anyways. They're still
I'll do my
normal languages that be.
Normal voices, Vabian.
All right. You pull the bolt then. All right. You pull the bolt and step in.
Most Seardaman usually have like an undead like bodyguard with them, correct?
Well, that's what you guys are my bodyguards.
They typically do. Yeah. Usually a whole cadre. Yeah.
Make Norok look undead.
Okay.
For sure.
Real quick, before you guys stepped out, there was a bright white glow coming from the portal, but you did recognize that the other side of the room is from the half-inch gap at the bottom of the door, that the room itself was dark. There was just a blue glow that kept moving back and forth, right? So you would know, again, as experienced adventurers, having gone through places like this and dangerous situations, that you would probably need a light source. in that you knew the other room was going to be dark. There is some illumination coming from the portal behind you that I neglected to put on the map, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on here now. It will illuminate some of it for you. I don't know if it's going to be enough for Pogo to actually be able to see in there, so I want to give you the moment, if you so choose, to retcon that a little bit if you would have had another light source on you.
I would put the light on the cantrip on my little orb, and so it would illuminate a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll do my usual. I'll just have the
rapier.
Out of curiosity, would light shining out of off my scabbard ruin the spell, or would it still incorporate into the look?
Yeah, it would just look like you're a Vabian. Well, in this case, with light coming off of you. Yeah.
Okay. And that would have that because that'll come off of me. So I would have that done.
All right, then you step out. You immediately see a flash of something ethereal and blue to the bottom right of you. It screams "Death to the Khan," and there is a very ear-piercing wail as it. You know what? Actually, it would do this.
I immediately say, "I'm on your side."
I mean, you could shout it, sure.
Yeah. But I'm on your side. I agree.
It is. But you know what's funny? Actually, I'm gonna show you guys something here in just a second. That's gonna make this a little funnier because you guys worked really hard to come up with a decent means of disguising yourselves, and unfortunately, this specific one, this is the only room, at least so far, that I've noticed. Yeah, all right. And it's not a strong cast. He still failed it, but he was clearly not a high level spell. It's 44. Wow. Rolled real bad on that for you. Sorry. 44 damage though. As he blasts you with that, he screams like an ear piercing wail. This is clearly an incorporeal undead of some sort. As he flies through you. Actually, he can get everybody. Yeah. So he's gonna fly through everyone. 5, 10.
Can I at least get a opportunity attack as he leaves my area?
Yeah, he's gonna hit everybody, and I'm just gonna, for the sake of simplicity, put him in the hallway here. And I'll click this real quick. Go ahead and get your opportunity attack. It is, which one is it here? Agonizing phase.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Well, 14 hit.
It's not high. Again, this isn't a strong creature. It is 1d10 for everybody. So everybody, that's 10. Everybody takes 10 damage as he flies through you all once. Pogo, you lash out ahead at him. I don't think his AC is very high. No, it's only 12. So your Elven short sword just tears through a chunk of the ghost as he flies through you and flies down the hallway and back. He screeches and stops in the middle and is beginning to kind of swing with its these kind of long since what's the word? Disintegrated hands. It's just these kind of bony appendages, not solid, incorporeal, that he's lashing out at you guys with. Where is my hit point adjuster? There it is. 58. Oh, sorry. You guys did not hear that. There we go. He's still screaming, death to the Khan, death to the Khan's... Oh, damn it. I don't remember the name of that group off the top. Well, doesn't matter. He clearly is not happy with the Khan or the most, let's say, the elites, for simplicity's sake. And that's it. So we can go ahead and roll initiative if you guys would like. Again, it's clear that that's the side that he's on because of these shouts, and he's very vehement about it. So do with that information what you will.
Man, if only we didn't look like soldiers. God,
I'm gonna just because it is really amusing that this is the one that you guys chose here.
Roll.
I will cut it to there to avoid any spoilery stuff here. But that right there, literally the one room you guys landed in is this guy who that disguise would be the bad choice for. All right. So starting with Nor.
Luck, though.
It kind of is, yeah. I mean, it's funny because you guys were being thoughtful and careful about your preparation for this, and unfortunately, it was the
all right, guys, we're fine. We'll be all
right. You don't actually have to continue. Well, it's clear. Well, I guess you can just like any other creature. Of course, you guys can try to talk your way out of it if you want to. Oh, Fox, do you want to... I didn't have you in the combat tracker. Do you want to roll your initiative there? And then Ben, it's your turn.
Alright, so are we fighting this thing, guys?
You are in the back, 2G. Like, you can't wade through them. You're kind of stuck there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can aim at it or throw something at it, that kind of thing, without, like, you have a clean shot. You just can't get to it easily.
Okay.
But you can, try to shout to him or, whatever else, too.
Well, I was asking the group, are we going to try to talk to this thing, possibly, if we can, or no?
I mean, I don't see why.
We could try.
Be right back.
Know where we need to go.
I just...
Or at least have an idea.
Okay. Then I'm going to actually just quietly ready my stick of stars if I can, whack him with that if I need to, because I should be able to. Hopefully, not friendly fire or anybody with that.
I mean, it's magic missile; it can't miss, so you don't have to worry about that. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll ready my action, hold my action, I guess, in case he gets hostile.
Okay. I mean, he's been hostile already, but
if he hurts somebody, I guess, or whatever.
Okay. All right. Well, that brings us to Pogo, and Justin stepped away for just a second, so.
In my knowledge of ghosts, I would probably know that they aren't impacted by necrotic damage, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you would have an understanding that necrotic would be probably limited in its effectiveness.
Yep. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to step away. Door's still open. Come on. Actually, I'm going to use guiding. Guiding bolt's going to be a disadvantage. Oh, I know. Duh. Bonus action.
You're not going to try to talk to him?
It just fucking attacked me.
Yeah, that's fine. You absolutely can just kill it. That's totally fine.
Did I miss something? Did Norak try to talk to him while I was gone?
Ben had asked, are we going to try to talk to him, and kind of prepared to attack, but didn't actually attack it in case you guys wanted to try to talk to him.
Yeah, because he's against the same people we are, so we can maybe enlist their help in, destroying part of the place.
Yeah.
But that's more of a Pogo persuasion thing.
I did already attack him. Yeah, I mean, sure, why not?
Well, you attacked him as he was flying through you. It doesn't mean that you can't, say, hey, you hit me first.
So I'm going to. Well, here's the thing. Also, I don't know his ghost. He's a ghost. Ghosts are not like. No, you
do whatever Pogo's going to do. Totally fair.
Can I roll a religion check to see if I know enough about ghosts to know if I think that ghosts can be reasoned with like this?
Sure. You know what? I would say that you've had previous experience, or roll it with advantage. All right.
Yeah. So what do I know about ghosts and being able to reason with them based off what their
based on you actually had you guys as a group had communications with the Death Knights and the Wraiths at the top of Calderfell.
Yeah.
And yeah, you definitely were able to, they were aggressive at first with some stipulations. You were able to kind of get them to no longer be hostile to you guys. So yeah, you definitely know that obviously they're varying states. Not every undead is going to be willing to listen, but you were able to at least communicate with that group, and there were quite a few.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and I don't do this very often in combat. I'm going to cast guidance on myself.
Okay.
And I'm just going to turn. I'm going to lower my weapon, and I'm going to apologize and say, "Listen, we are here on a mission to kill." Fuck is his name? Not the king.
The
Khan. The Khan. Yeah, I'm like the king, but from like the Middle East kind of thing. We're here on a mission to
assassinate Southeast Asia, but still
to assassinate the Khan and destroy the phylacteries. And
he, these not disembodied, incorporeal.
I'm sorry that I attacked you with your sword. I just got scared in the moment.
He's kind of had pulled his arm back, getting ready to slash at you as you started to speak to him, and when you kind of sputter this out as eloquently as you can in the middle of having just been blasted with a bunch of ice, he kind of stops still for a moment. Make a persuasion check.
And
it's 15.
On top
DC 15, yeah. not high for you, DC 15. I don't know if you can even fail at a DC 15. Yeah, you can't even fail a DC 15.
Pretty hard.
He stops for a moment. You're not lying?
I'm not lying. Look at
You're
this.
Here to stop the con?
What was that?
You're here to stop the con?
Well, technically we're here to murder the con, but I suppose that's one way to put it.
He can't be murdered.
Well, we're going to destroy the phylacteries of him and possibly some of his higher ups. How long have you been down here?
He pauses for a moment.
I'm gonna be waving everyone to put their weapons down in the back too.
Sure. He pauses for a moment. 40, 50 years maybe? I've long since lost count. They tortured me until I died, and I've been trapped here ever since.
Yeah, so my knowledge, no, it's still the same con. It's not like the sun or anything. It's the same person.
Correct. Yeah, it's been the same con for 1,200 years. So
it's the same...
sorry, 1,400 years. Sorry.
Yeah, 1,400?
Yeah.
Oh,
the same con keeps implanting himself.
I feel like I've forgotten more fucking lore of this game.
Well, that's part of... Okay, so that's what the Sirocco, or Maibi, Ozzy, and Serrata, that's what they're trying to prevent, is the Vabian kings. That's kind of a trait.
He's actually a lich, or is lich-like.
Yeah, he is a lich, yes. And that is kind of a trait typically for Vabian rulership, is that they constantly try to implement... It's long since even before the humans arrived here, the Teguraw were doing the same thing.
I'm going to explain to him that we are working with factions within Vabi who absolutely are disgusted at the direction that this entire country has gone to, and are backing us in our endeavor to change the rulership of this country.
Then
and
if
you don't have to help us if you don't want to, but if you want to just show us the way or guide us to what we're trying to do, it would be very helpful.
He seems elated. Like there isn't flesh to the face, so it's hard to get a read of that. But for what kind of skeletal shape remains, he seems just absolutely elated that what you're saying. Then if you're here to destroy him, then you'll have to destroy the phylactery, and if you can destroy the phylactery, then you can get me out of here. I can finally rest. Well, you'll do that, won't you? When you get there, you'll destroy everything.
Sure. What's your name?
Sorlin.
Sorlin. Have you been there?
It won't take much.
Do you know what I'm assuming you're stuck.
They taunted me with it. They showed me pictures of it, and they tortured me until I died, and during that they kept taunting that I would be stuck here forever, and so it's been.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that.
If you truly can, then I'll tell you everything I can. Just don't go that way. And he points in a direction that leads past this next door in this room here. There's only 2 doors in this room, the one that you're standing in, Pogo. The one that you're next to, and then there's another door down there. And he's pointing through that door and to the right, basically. Don't go that direction. There are traps there that they use to capture the larger demons, the more powerful demons, so that they can't escape. And it's you won't make it out if you go that way.
All right, DM question. Do we know that if we have them bring us, we can get brought back through that same little closet room, back to the other portal?
So if you walk back through this and go back through that white portal, as long as you're still carrying the glyphic key, then you'll teleport back into the gatehouse. Yes.
But then it'll just put us right back here. We can't go to other spaces.
Right now, yes. When you find other glyphic...
All right, I'm going to basically explain it to him that the people who... The magical security is so great that we have very limited access to where we could go right now, and we will have to, unfortunately, traverse through here before we can reach another location. If the traps... I don't want to risk your being through those traps if you can't do it, but can you tell us something about them or help in that situation?
The commander of this vault here, he's probably got the keys, I would guess. I've never seen the type you're describing, but you'll probably need to...
tell us about the commander? Can you tell us about the commander?
You forgot your accent again. Are you still German? Are you still German now? Did you drop the...
I'm very tired today.
He says his name is Teravar. He's an Erdeman.
Erdeman?
Yeah, which you know to be the dead, basically not quite lich level, but an undead mage. Like the really powerful ones that were flying around on the discs during the big fight at the Crow Fort, that were the ones that blew up. Well, were responsible for Norok getting knocked off of the shelf by the giant Fomorian giants. Yeah, they were the ones controlling those, and he's.
So can I ask you? Can you not pass through the traps?
I can pass through anything, but I can't leave this chamber.
I can't leave the chamber. Some sort of magical.
Yeah, I've been stuck here in boredom and despair for 40 years. I'm just really hoping that if you are who you say you are, and that you are able to destroy those phylacteries, if you blow the whole place up, I think I can get out of here.
I mean, I don't know if we can. So I don't know if we're going to blow it up, but we can destroy the phylactery. The phylacteries are very magical inside, but I'll look for what we can do, and as long as it's there, I don't see why we can't help you out. I'm going to go ahead and ask him, do you know what kind of traps, or is it just unknown on the other side of this door?
That next one is definitely trapped. As for what sort, it's changed many times. The last time I was through it, the last time they opened that door and I saw it was an open pit and there were spikes on the ceiling, but I don't know what it did. I was not able to pass through the door to see.
All right, well, I think we just need to be off, and we'll do our best to get this taken care of.
All right, what's the rest of the group doing?
Is he able to join us on our mission here?
He can't leave the room. Can I do an Arcana check to see if I can find out why he can't leave the room? If I can see if there's something that's keeping here that we can visually make out or sense?
Sure.
Holy shit!
All right.
First Arcana check I've ever made, I think.
Had a natural 20 on it too. You see something like a tiny. You know what? It's not even really a hole, I guess. There are threads of demolane coming off of him, which is like it's not natural death. It's the more normal, let's say, rill of death. Your magic, for example, comes from Corvalane, which is the old version, the kind of more archaic death magic. This is the more modern death magic. There are threads of it coming off of him into the wall, just straight through the wall to the north.
What does that tell me, though?
That whatever is anchoring him is not visible in this room, and the other side of those threads likely go to it.
Of something
that's what you expect it to be, exactly. Yeah, so whatever it is it may be in the wall, it may be in the or in the next room to the north or something like that. You don't know. You just know that
these walls are like it looks on the map, stone.
Yeah, they're hewn stone. They're
I'm gonna relay that information to the group that I can sense that you're being tethered and held here by something that direction.
Okay.
So we'll see if we can take a look for you.
All right.
I'm gonna try to stealthily check this door to see if it opens.
Give me a perception check.
That's 4 20s tonight for me.
Jeez. Wow. All right. That is... Sorry, I gotta look at which one this is here. You don't hear anything on the other side of the door. It's quiet. The noise that you guys made in having pushed that first door and so on doesn't appear to have alerted anything else, or at least you don't hear, footsteps coming this direction or anything of that sort. It's quiet.
One good thing about stone walls.
Well, stone walls echo like a ton.
They echo, so... but if you're on the other side of one, you don't really hear shit.
Oh yeah, okay. As far as density, sure, yeah, that's fair. Yeah. I was thinking like echoing down the hallways, but yeah, with doors and further obstructions, sure. You do hear. You don't hear any noise coming from directly to the other side, but there's definitely echoing of screams like torturing coming from somewhere else further away. But it doesn't appear to be directly on the side of this door. Beneath the door, it is dark. No light source except for what you guys are setting out on your own. But if you place your hand in front of it to block it, there's no light source on the side that you can see. Otherwise, it's as far as you can tell, it sounds to be unoccupied or very still at the least.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and sneakily open this door slowly and see what's on the other side.
Okay. Locked? It's not locked. Yeah, okay. Sorry. I unlocked it and then I clicked it right as you did. So no, you slip the door open carefully. It is very dark, but the illumination from your scabbard, you're able to see into it. The walls are worked stone, very high ceilings that go quite a ways up, probably 30 feet up or so. There are so the walls are smooth. The floor is smooth. It's all hewn stone, like clean hewn stone. But using, with the light that you're able to see from it, you can see up to the ceiling, and there are just a ton of jagged stalactites that are aiming down from the above. The floor tiles themselves are otherwise unobscured. You don't see anything else standing out. Just a clean room. There's stairs going down to the left.
I'm gonna look up and be like, all right, is it probably gonna hook up to something that will murder us from the ceiling.
I mean, he's told you that this room has changed and that it's always trapped. Yeah. So do with that what you will. You do see on the other side there's another door, almost directly across there. Stairs going down to the left, and then an open, archway to the south.
I'm going to just, from inside here, I'm going to kind of put a foot on the first step, step on it, and step right back into the room. Anything happen?
No.
Okay. I'm going to...
I would sneak up behind him and make an investigation check or something to see if...
Yeah, you can fucking just look. You look in. I'm not sure.
I'm not great at investigation, but I will do this.
Everybody jump in, and any checks you might want to do, because you do think, because you talked to him, he did forewarn you that this room will always be trapped. He just doesn't know what the current incarnation of that is.
What I would like to do while other people are doing these traps, what is from all of our experiences with Erdemans, what kind of offensive magic do they usually do?
A shit ton of death magic. Bad, like hitting with fingers of death and disintegration. Not fucking around, we'll kill you flat out kind of magic.
I'm going to... Would that be the same as necrotic, or...
Yeah, well, most of the... I see. Okay, now I understand what your question is.
I'm going to tell a story to my shield, but I'm trying to decide, based off my previous experience with the Erdemans.
Yeah, necrotic and force, primarily, but necrotic...
I'll tell him a story... I'll tell him one of my stories about a zombie plague uprising that we encountered against the ocean.
Okay.
And that's
make a performance.
Performance, yeah. Big money, no whammies, and middle.
Shit, right, we only got the first one. Yep, plus 2 to AC.
All right.
But no resistance. Good. All right, what you doing, Sarah?
I just want to see if there's anything different with the floor pattern. Does it look like there should be a path that we can walk? Certain places we can step that look different than the others?
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation.
Can I do an investigation check too?
Yeah. I mean, just... Okay, something's broken. Everybody's rolling fucking 20s every time now. Almost. You don't see any discernible pattern difference. You don't see footprints or anything like that. In fact, I would say that the floor looks suspiciously spotless, I guess. So either somebody is really diligent about sweeping in here or something, you don't know, but there's not, dust or crumbs of any sort on the floor at all. It looks
There's no
spotless.
Wear pattern at all on the floor?
No, not really.
Someone may have stepped more.
Yeah. How about Arteme? What are you looking for? Any specific details?
Not sure.
I mean, just a general look. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was doing a general look to see if I could see anything. I wasn't looking for patterns or anything, but just a general look.
Narrow it down a little bit for me, because I mean, it's not a bad roll, but I need to know what it is you're trying to look for. Sarah was looking at the floor, for example, to look for anything that stood out about it, and what she noticed was that it was way too clean.
Okay, I'll look at the ceiling.
Okay.
And the sides, the walls.
Okay. The ceiling is not clean at all. In fact, there's a good bit of blood, dried blood, on those stalactites that are sticking down from the ceiling. Clearly, they have impaled things and they've been cleaned in the sense that there aren't rotting bodies or bones or anything like that still there, but they've definitely been used to, cause significant harm at the very least.
Pogo just had a thought. What if it's some weird gravity magic?
True. Oh,
Want to throw something in and see if it goes to the ceiling? Does anyone have like a canary or something they could toss in the room?
I was just gonna throw a chair into it.
This room is full of like broken furniture.
Toss a couple pieces of broken furniture into there. See what happens.
Yeah, I was about to just throw a chair. Just chuck it into the room.
Sure. There aren't any like complete chairs, Nazim, but you do, grab a chair leg. It's clear that he's raged in this room for 40 years and destroyed pretty much everything he can, with what little, limited physical contact he's able to make. But you grab, a chunk of a broken chair leg and toss it in. It clinks onto the floor. Nothing happens.
I had put find the path to try and because I thought we were going to get for the Wood Sage's chorus. Can I change out a spell quickly?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, you would have known that before coming here, so. You know what? Let me just a caveat there. The spell that you're replacing it with does need to be one that you would have realistically have decided upon before, knowing that there was this trapped room here. You know what I mean? So don't meta knowledge it to the point of cheating. But yeah, as long as it's a fair.
Well, I was going to take find traps because I remembered I had it.
That's
and
fair.
In this kind of situation, I would have brought it because there's a few times I traded it in.
Yeah, that's definitely a fair one to have prepared for
I could
coming into
refind
a
it in
place
my
like
list.
this. You do know find traps kind of sucks. It isn't particularly useful, but it's certainly better than nothing.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sarah, you were saying something there?
We could use the broom to ferry ourselves over this area at least. Maybe
that is true.
Is the
ceiling, real quick.
It's just this room, right?
Yeah, let's tie whoever's doing that. Let's tie a rope to you first, so in case we have to just fucking pull you back because it's trying to push you up towards the ceiling.
So real quick, everybody that is staring into that room, nobody has stepped in it any further than the initial foot that Pogo put on the floor. Yeah. A certain amount of time has now passed. Nazim, the chair leg that you threw and clanked across the floor, zips up to the ceiling and is gone. It clanks into the stalactites and kind of crunches.
How much time has passed?
Right about 1 minute.
All right, so every minute, I'm gonna throw another book onto the ground to see if it holds or if it just does it once every minute.
Stay still.
A book? Okay. Why a book?
It's time.
The fox is offended that you threw a book on. The book could be read.
Pogo is going to quickly run through this room and try to get to this hallway.
Fuck. Okay, well, hang on.
Here?
Well, that's specifically where he told you not to go.
Oh, is that where he told me not to go?
Yeah, he said. Well, in the tip that he gave you, he said, "Don't go that direction." Pogo.
Oh wait! You know what?
Okay, all right, that's fine.
I apologize. I would have probably gone north to find his threads. That would have make more sense.
All right, that's fine. I mean, Pogo would have known is what I'm getting at too. Yeah. That he warned you not to go that way. It doesn't mean you can't. Stop there, though.
You get right out of range of the spikes.
Okay. Yeah, you are now in a regular smooth ceiling now, so there's no spikes above you where you're standing.
I'm checking the walls. Anything crazy on the walls?
Nothing, but you do see another of those. So that on the map there, that circle on the floor, that is another of those portals. It does not light up when you approach. So you're not carrying. Well, you know what? I need to probably specifically find out who is going to be carrying keys as you guys find them. But for now, we'll say that Pogo doesn't have him. Even if you did, though, it doesn't matter. That portal does not light up, meaning you probably don't have the appropriate key for it. But it does still obscure your vision. You can't see past that.
Oh, I can't see past the portal thing?
Correct. Yeah, the portal. There's a white glowing mist that kind of fills floor to ceiling, so you can't see past it.
Got it.
But you were able to run across the ground the entire time and make it onto the top of the stairway there, and your book is still on the floor that you left in there.
Yeah, and so it's maybe every minute or so, guys. It's timed. It pulls it back up to the ceiling.
Are you guys waiting 1 minute? Go ahead, Sarah.
Can we see this door across the way?
Yep.
Does it look like the door that we came through? Like it has a thing on the bottom?
It looks like the door that you're standing in front of. It looks like it's just a. I mean, it is. Door. Yeah, I mean it's relatively decorative, but it doesn't look like it's locked or anything otherwise special. It just looks like a door. Easy enough to make your way through it.
Right.
Now, at this point, I need to be specific here in case anybody decides to do anything. We'll say that it's been about 45 seconds since Pogo ran around the room and then moved down the stairs.
I will join him and run across over.
Okay. All right. You make it to the other side. We're gonna pop.
Is 6 seconds. I have.
That's fine. That's what I'm saying. That's totally fine. I just wanted to make sure you weren't like, taking your sweet time type of thing. Like, 15 seconds is still quite a while.
No, as soon as I see that it's just like a regular door, maybe a little bit more fancy, she takes off running after Pogo.
Okay. All right. So you run over to the top of the stairs. 5 seconds after you make it to the top of the stairs, that book goes flinging up into the ceiling and is gone.
As soon as that book goes up, I'm going to grab some trash off the ground and throw half the trash just on the floor again, so we can keep an eye on the timing.
You throw it on in, it clatters across the floor. It's, strewn across, but is still on the floor. Yeah.
I'm gonna make way for the rest of the group. I'm gonna walk through the sigil.
You can't go through it.
Oh, you can't go through it.
In fact, actually, hang on. Sorry. Yeah, there's actually something that happens there. I'm sorry. I gotta.
All right, that's all right.
Well, don't go moving past it.
Do I go up to the mothership?
I gotta scroll back here to find it. Sorry. 1 sec here. I meant to read this. Yeah, really. This one, it's not a particularly nice dungeon. There is a lot of really mean things in here that I'll be toning down as we go a little bit, but it isn't particularly high level. It's just a lot of nickel and diming of hit points. Where is that fucking thing?
Yeah, that ghost only took out 54 of my hit points, guys.
Yeah, that wasn't supposed to be that high. He was actually a really low level caster. He just rolled really well on fucking Cone of Cold. Yeah, you took a good hit there. Jesus, where is this thing in here? There we go. Okay. These gates. So you know that gatehouse connects back to these, right? They are 10-foot diameter circles with runes of clear quartz fragments that are set into the floor. Within the circle, a luminous white mist shimmers, obscuring what lies beyond. So you can't. Well, we'll get to the not moving through it here as well, but you can't see beyond it. Gives off dim light, renders the area heavily obscured. It's also impenetrable magical force that blocks passage, material, and ethereal sound and scent. If a glyph key is attuned to it, that's when they light up, and that's when you're able to pass through it. Okay, never mind. I thought there was if you touched it, it would hurt you, but it does not for this kind of a gate, at least. So, yeah, you're not able to pass through it, but it doesn't
fucking running into it like a hot-ass shower. Oh, yeah, burned to crisp. Just burn up now.
Yeah. You just bounce off in this case.
Holler around the corner that it's a dead end this way.
Okay, but which way are we not supposed to go?
South.
Okay, so we need to go.
We can go to the door across the room.
Yep, but you only have a minute to get the door open.
And by now, by the way, that junk that you threw across the floor, Nazim, zips up to the ceiling.
Out of curiosity, the junk that zips up to the ceiling, it doesn't
junk on the floor.
It doesn't fall back down. It just stays there, even if whether or not it's impaled.
Yep, still there. Oh, and in fact, now that that's been pointed out, I'll tell you that if you look closely at the ceiling there, the floor is perfectly clean. No dust, no nothing. It's all stuck to the ceiling. So all the itty-bitty little things that fell off of people's boots as they walked through, all that stuff, itty-bitty little pebbles, all that stuff, it's not on the floor. It's all in the ceiling. And clearly it's been cleaned out because there's blood, there's still dried blood up there, but not bones or other remains. So, whatever has been trapped in here before has been removed from it. But yeah, the floor itself is permanently clean.
Let's see.
I would also point out, based on that observation that Pogo has just made, that were you to get stuck to the ceiling, extrication could be particularly complicated.
Okay.
You won't fall back down.
I mean, a minute's a long time. Would it be possible to do it in our order mode? So we're actually doing
absolutely. Yeah, we want to do turn-based mode,
turn-based mode, basically, just so that way everyone gets a chance to do something here. And
idea here.
Yeah. What's up, Sako?
In the bedroom, is there a bed, mattress, or table, or large planks of wood?
Most of it's long since rotted away, but yeah, they're all of the above.
Could I start grabbing flat items, mattresses, the tabletops, things of that manner, and slide it onto the floor in front of the door here, and essentially make a path, as if I don't want to say it this way, but it's like making a hot lava path. The floor is lava. So
but upside down.
But upside down, exactly. So when the items do get sucked to the ceiling, it will create a path, I guess.
You definitely can. It is 30 feet up, and the stalactites are not equal length, if you get what I'm getting at there. Meaning that
Also,
if a
you'll
plank
still be
hits
pulled
it,
up there.
you'll still be pulled up. It would still be difficult to get off. But more importantly, there though is if you say you put the mattress, for example, right, it's going to hit one point that is taller than another and then rotate. See where I'm going with that?
Gotcha. So it's not even length. So in other words, I couldn't
exactly.
On the ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. They're not. If they were equal lengths, then you could do that with one plank. Basically, you could get it stuck on two or more of these stalactites. But because they're varying lengths, meaning some of them are 3 feet down and some of them are only 1.5 feet down, so you've got a lot of space there for things to rotate and get broken away. I wouldn't recommend it. Not that it wouldn't be. If you did get sucked up, it'd be better than just being hit onto stalactites, of course. But yeah.
Gotcha.
All right. So we'll go ahead and hop in initiative here, just to give everybody a chance to do some stuff here. So Nazim, did you want to do that, or what do you want to do?
I'll hold off on doing that. That was just an idea. I was just going to make a walkable path on the ceiling with that stuff, but since they're uneven, it's not going to work.
Okay. We will say here, for the sake of time, that you threw that first set of junk that you threw out, that all got pulled up, but you threw another one after, you said, right?
Yeah, I'm just constantly throwing junk on the floor as the last junk goes, just so.
Poor Gross is about to be in solitary confinement.
What?
He's not even gonna have broken furniture to hang out with.
Oh yeah, really?
It's just handfuls of trash. It's just like scraps and little stuff.
I mean, you could literally throw pocket lint; it would still achieve the same thing as long as you paid attention to it. I want to jump back to Norok, because Ben hasn't gotten to do anything basically the whole game. So, what do you want to do, Holmes?
You know what? Out of curiosity, I don't know if it's going to have any effect, but it's for the fun of it. I have some rope on me, I believe. I'm going to tie my Magicron magnet around the center of it to a rope, and then throw it in the room and let it get sucked up to the ceiling and see what happens. But I'm going to hold on to the rope and stay out of the room, of course.
Okay.
So I can pull it back if I need to.
All right.
Be the polarity at all.
That's interesting. I kind of need to.
Want to wait till next weekend?
No, well, I mean, we can play the last 10 minutes. We're fine here. As far as the result, that's a really interesting idea. All right, so you throw it out. We'll say, I mean, it takes a minute for that, so we'll give everybody kind of let's say this minute's worth of time, potentially, if they've got other ideas for that as well. But you do, fling out the rope with the magnetite, or sorry, rope with the magnetite on the end of it onto the floor. It clinks across the floor and it's just sitting there. And then we'll when the trigger happens, basically when it's ceiling time, then we'll come back to that. That it is we're gonna think on that for a second here now. Sarah. There's some junk on the floor, and now there's a magnet in the middle of it with a rope on it, so that Nora can pull it back.
I'm gonna send out a mage hand and try the doorknob on the door.
Oh,
I'm assuming it's locked, but
okay. You send the mage hand.
Room to hurt the moment.
Yeah. You send the mage hand over. It's turning the doorknob, and the doorknob is turning, but it isn't opening. Doesn't seem like it's locked, but it's not opening. Make an Arcana check. Okay. It's locked magically. It is not a mechanical lock. The doorknob itself doesn't care, but the door doesn't push open because of something else that is preventing it from opening. You can see threads of reconditious coming off of it.
Let's see. Mage hand is in action. Yes. Yes.
That sounds right. Yeah. Except for certain rogues, I think. Arcane Trickster or something.
Then I will wait until my next turn to
Okay.
my next idea.
All right.
I'll let them know that it seems like it's magically locked.
Sure. All right. Artemis, your turn.
The door now will turn. But...
Okay. Can I use detect magic on that door?
Sure. It will take 10 minutes, so I mean it would be quite a while before you get a result from it, but you can. Assuming that you want to cast it as a ritual, you can always do it as a spell slot if you want.
Ritual.
Okay. All right. So it'll be 10 minutes for you to sit down in there and prepare it. But it's a radius, so you'll be able to pick up not just that, but other magical sources within a radius. All right. Then in that case, the minute ends. I mean, if you guys want to jump into it for something else, that's fine. I would otherwise just say maybe each round is kind of a minute test, if that makes sense. You've gathered that the ceiling snap seems to happen at a certain point. All right, so the minute ends. Norak, your rope and magnet goes yanking out of your hand. Well, the loops of the rope, you still have the end of it, obviously, go yanking up to the ceiling. Just by looking at it, you get just about 30 feet up by the amount of rope that it is taken away from your hands there. It is snapped up to the ceiling. You're tugging on it, and it won't come down. Like, it feels like it's well secured to the ceiling. You feel like you could probably pull it down, but it's going to fight you the entire way. That makes sense?
Right. Yeah. I will start to pull on the rope then.
Okay. Go ahead and make a strength check. It's not going to be a high DC, but it is definitely, a lot of effort. Sarah, your mage hand snaps up to the ceiling and disappears. It is gone. Not that it cost anything as far as resources or spell slots, but it was similarly yanked away as well. All the trash, Nazim, that you'd put on the ground there also pulled.
Magic as well.
Oh, geez. Well, that yank did not do anything. You feel like you could probably give it one more good attempt, but the DC is going to be a little higher, and if the rope rather is going to come loose if you don't get high enough on the second check, and your magnet will likely be gone unless you have some other creative ideas of retaining it. So you can give it one more shot if you want to, G. DC 15 this time, so still not huge, but... And then we will hop back up to... actually, Norak, you were at the top. I just wanted to, get you some interaction time if you wanted to do something fun. Oh, well... You yank the rope, and unfortunately, the pull of it is just too strong. You feel the strands of the rope coming undone at the end, and you pull it free, and you have a frayed rope as you pull it down. Your magnet is irretrievable this moment.
Goddamn fish got away, bruh.
It kind of did. It stole the lure. Yeah. It's a gravity fish. It's upside down, but it's up there. So, but it is your turn now, Holmes. So what do you want to do?
Well, which way are we going? Because I'm gonna try to time it and go whichever way we're going. Are we gonna try to go through that door?
It's magically locked.
Well, I'm just waiting it out then. There's nothing I can do.
You don't want to try to smash out magical locks with your axes and shit?
I don't think it'll work very well this time. And then I'll get stuck to the ceiling with my magnet.
Yep. And there's a lot of Norak. You'd hit a whole bunch of them stalactites.
Well, then you guys could walk through. We should do that.
Yeah, really. They could use you as the platform.
Yeah.
All right. Then if Norak is holding tight for the moment, Ben, if you want to jump back in later on, that's fine too. Just so you get a chance there. Pogo.
All right. Well, since it's a whole ass minute, I'm running up to the door and I'm looking around on it to see if I can find any strange instructions, patterns, something weird on the door itself, doorknob, anything that looks like it could be a secret way through.
I'm going to interpret what you said literally, and you tell me if there's an adjustment that needs to be made there. You are thoroughly inspecting it with your eyes and nothing else. Is that correct?
No, I would be touching the shit out of it.
Okay.
I even brought up my short sword because if I can't see it, I'm going to touch it and I'm going to attack it.
Okay. Give me a Constitution save, and it's a DC 22.
God damn it. I can tell right now. Probably
this might be a good spot to end it.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
does this happen when I attack it or just when I touch it?
Well, you reach your hand out. Well, either one, really. If you're, I mean, if you're trying to swing at it, that's fine too. Whatever contact, whatever physical contact.
Touching would have happened before the attacking.
Okay, all right. Then in that case, then when you reach for the doorknob or just touching the door itself, you feel a jolt of electricity travel through you, and you are paralyzed. You are frozen in space, kind of similar to your, previous, fugue states, except you are fully conscious, realizing that you are.
Guys, you've got the whole round to get me the fuck out of this room.
You've got like 55 seconds to get Pogo out of there, or he is toast. So I mean, Pogo will kill him.
Do they see
everybody sees. Yeah, you see Pogo is immediately paralyzed.
I'm still busy with the spell.
Yeah,
that's true.
So I'm going to use my turn to quickly run in and run out. I think I could drag your body in within 50 seconds.
I weigh 33 pounds.
All right. Okay, Nazim, we're going to go ahead and end here, but Nazim, I'm going to go ahead and move you in. You run in and you reach out to grab Pogo to attempt to yank him away. Make a DC 22 con save.
Wait. Was my hand still attached to the door?
You're still.
All right, so real quick.
Why didn't you let go of the damn door?
He's frozen. He can't do anything.
He's talking electrified.
Yeah, like grabbing an electric fence, except, paralyzed the instant you touch it. DC 22 con save for Nazim.
Can we talk when we're paralyzed in the game or no?
I mean, you can talk as players, as your characters know. You're frozen. All right, everybody else, you see Nazim reach down to try to, throw an arm around a little halfling Pogo to yank him away, and he instantly freezes in place the moment he touches Pogo. Also paralyzed. And that's where we'll end tonight's game, just for the sake of time. So, I was kind of wondering what would happen there. Obviously, the mage hand wouldn't trigger it, of course, because it's incorporeal. But the door is clearly...
That just means, Norak, you're going to have to use your shit as a pry bar to pry my body away from the door and then run us out of that fucking room.
By the way...
Back in the hallway, whatever, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, and time-wise... you know what? Because you guys did enough rounds of testing this, I'll remind you next game anyways. It isn't every 1 minute that it happens. What it is as soon as something touches it, it starts a 1 minute timer. So, and then as soon as the timer goes up, it gets yanked to the ceiling, and then the room doesn't do anything until something touches the floor again, and it starts a 1 minute timer again, and just rinse and repeat.
Would we know if it stacks? Like if you threw a book on it, and then 5 seconds later you threw another book, would it go off in 1 minute and 1 minute 5 seconds?
No. Oh, it's everything would get yanked at the initial 1 minute, and that's it.
Got it.
So, I would say that you guys have
a reset of everything.
Exactly.
We would have learned that from him throwing random shit on.
That's what I was getting at. Is you guys tried enough experimentation there. I was just going to give that to you just so that
we now know how it works. Cool.
Yeah, I figured that was pretty fair considering, because like I said, some of these traps can be really just kind of old school, really mean, and it's just not as, to me, that's not as fun. So I figured, that's a fair assessment since you guys have spent a little time tinkering with it. So, all right, we'll go ahead and